Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Easy Allies Community Showcase. I am Brandon Jones. I'm joined by Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello. Got here just in time.
Buckle up.
Well, I guess not. We're like 3 minutes late.
Just in time for
6 minutes late.
4 hours.
How many actual minutes? We got different clocks going on here.
I know you said, so you got
3
something
minutes.
to do at 4 p.m. You said you might have to bail for a couple minutes.
No, we have somebody coming here.
Right.
At 4.
To just go.
So I've got to let him in at least and let him not stand out on the street.
Count on it. Going 4+ hours. This is the Easy Allies Community Showcase. Here's what this is. We are supported on patreon.com/easyallies. At the $10 tier, you can be involved in the community showcase. You can submit something to the showcase post that's put up at the end of the month, and you can submit a comment, a screenshot. No screenshots this month. We do.
Did you just do a little tier?
I love those screenshots, man. They're so good. I love seeing what everybody's
because
playing.
Huber's got them now.
I love those. That's right. Huber's sucking up.
Yep.
He's leeching all of that off of the showcase. And you can submit a photograph, a drawing that you've done, a 3-minute video or a 3-minute music track, and then we will go through all of that. The comments are what make up the bulk of the showcase. We will just be talking about stuff that our community is doing for a couple hours, and then we will go through and watch some stuff and listen to some stuff. And if you want to be involved, all you got to do is be at that $10 tier on Patreon, and then we put up the post at the end of the month. If you want to check this stuff out, you can go to patreon.com/easyallies, and then after the showcase is over, if you're watching this live, I will do it shortly after the live stream. If you're watching this archived, it's probably public now, but I will make the previous March 2020 post public. So go to patreon.com/easyallies, click on posts, and then you will see, or the community showcase is now a tab up there. You can just click on the showcase.
Yeah.
And then you will see the post for March 2020, and then in all the comments of that post, you will see links to everything.
$10 or $20, Jones?
$10.
Okay. I don't
It's
remember
$10.
off the top of my head either.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's $10 people on that tier.
Showcase is 10, Q&A
Q&A
is
is
20.
20, right.
Okay, there we go.
If you want to get us to argue with each other, that's $20. If you want us to be civil and enjoy your work, that's $10. But a couple things went long, a couple things I had to cut short.
Oh.
Our lovely Doom retrospective from Mr. David Price went too long, so I had to chop off the beginning of it. 3 minutes is that cap. But so if you want to see any of the extended versions, if you want to download any of the art, or sometimes people link their channels. I know Litmit Media has been doing our Shenmue dub. Mr. Dan Allen links to his channel so you can watch all of the other Shenmue dubs. Yes, there will be a new chapter today. But there's a lot of stuff that we got to talk about, so let's just jump into it. Caesar Villa, hello Blood and Jones. For a change, February was a good month for my gaming. I beat the Talos Principle, as I wanted,
Nice.
and even read the book I told you guys about last show in a personal record time of 9 days. I really thought it would take me months, since I'm not a disciplined reader. Most of the time, I fall asleep under a few pages, but I guess the mystery of The Analyst got me interested enough that I made a steady progress of 4 chapters a day until it was done Wednesday last week. So, finally, Breath of the Wild is my next game in the queue. Happy anniversary. It's 3 years old today?
Is it today?
I saw a lot of people tweeting today about it.
Okay, I was wondering, like, because Kind of Funny was saying they're going to do some Zelda thing to celebrate the 3rd anniversary, yeah.
Feels good. While I would normally have started it immediately after the book was done, I was leaving in 2 days for a week-long vacation to visit my mom and brother back in my hometown. And since when the game launched, I didn't even dream of having a Switch. I bought the Wii U version. Had I known, I would have owned the console and had a week to play it intensively. I would have brought the Switch version, but oh well. I still have a big 3DS backlog, so I'm entertaining myself with that this week. Now, gaming. The Talos Principle. I promised my hot takes to Ian since last year, so I'm preparing my dissertation for him, but since Blood is here and he likes the game, I'll share some of my thoughts this month as well. I think this game won me over from the second it started. Waking up in those beautiful environments, listening to a voice from the sky telling me to seek enlightenment, too much to absorb at once. Then the puzzles and tools start, and it all feels fitting and into place. You find the first PC and get into those philosophy lessons, blog posts from people in the holograms with recordings from Dr. Alexander Drennan slowly but surely unveil a sad story about humanity and the purpose of my character. And then come the stars and its meta-puzzles, in which you are encouraged to break the game, to take things out of their respective enclosures, not sure why that word keeps popping up in my head when thinking of all the challenge rooms, so I'll use it, and use them in creative ways to get what is just out of reach. I thought this was a magnificent game with many layers that interconnect perfectly, and if you don't mind laser puzzles, looking at you, Huber, it is one that can't be missed. And to close, thanks for picking my entry for the Stream Team, Blood. I know Wild Guns was never going to win, but you wanting to give it a try means a lot, especially after the mess that was trying the PS4 remaster in a stream night back in the garage. That's it for this month. Allies, keep up the good work. Love and respect. Caesar, Cooking with Blood. Great name.
What's hilarious is that he called me out for picking the game, even though it's like, it could have been Damiani. It could have.
Yeah.
Like, he knows it was me.
Yeah. Try to keep the stream team anonymous, but I don't know. Did you finish Talos Principle?
Yeah.
I played a bunch, but I never.
Yeah.
That was a daunting game.
It was a heck of a game to finish.
Same thing with Witness. I got into it, but doing the whole thing. Whew. I, however, did finish the subject of our next post. Thank you, Caesar, from Megan Linhart. Hey, Jones and Blood. I meant for this post to be about my trip to the Reptile Expo. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's actually this weekend instead, so I'll save that for next time. I figured I'd talk about the one show that has taken over my life as of late. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've been rewatching it, and it has completely pulled me in, and now it's all I think about. Have you seen Buffy?
Not really, no.
Okay. I remember first watching it when I was in middle school, and I've learned to appreciate it so much more now that I'm older. I really want to do in-depth reviews of each season on the showcase, but now I just want to gush about the incredible characters. Spike is honestly one of the best characters I've ever seen. The amount of growth this character goes through is actually awe-inspiring. He has his high moments and his rock-bottom ones, but how he manages to learn and grow through the entirety of the show is just so good. James Marsters, who plays him, is absolutely amazing. He knows the character like the back of his hand, and it shows. He works so well with every single person, and when he's on screen, he grabs your attention. One of my favorite things about, or one of the amusing things about Buffy is when I watched it, I've never seen one solitary minute of Angel. I never watched any of Angel, and that was started after Buffy and then ran right next to Buffy.
And then kind of crossed back and forth a little. Yeah.
So like I'm sure you've watched shows before that like have done that. You know, like maybe had like a side show or something. And so it was always funny like a Buffy episode start, they'd be like, "Woo! That was crazy. Thanks, man." Anyway, moving on. I was like, "What just happened?"
I wonder if they did any of those things where like, I feel like a lot of NBC shows, the dramas and stuff will do this where like, they do like a whole like block of stuff.
Sure.
You know, like SVU will cross over into some other show. And so it's like, you're really just like watching one movie. But then later when it comes to reruns, like, then like, does this make any sense?
Yeah.
Like,
But I love that stuff because it's got to be a headache to put together, man. That's got to be tough to plan that. Buffy herself is just an icon. Sarah Michelle Gellar is such an incredible and underrated actress. Her emotional journey through the series is one to see, becoming a role model for young women by not being perfect, but being strong and persevering. She's one of the best TV characters ever created. Made me weep in the first season because, like, damn, she's a good actor. Because the whole first season's like about this prophecy, you know, that she's going to die. There's many seasons. Obviously, she does not. But there's one, I think it's like in the second to last episode where they're like, hey, this is the prophecy. You got to go through this. You got to destroy the master. I remember she was like looking up at Giles and she's like, I'm like 16. I don't want to die. I was like, yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar, bring it. Willow is a character who struggles so much through the last few seasons. She's one of the characters who has Willow's the Willow ending. I know you know what ending I'm talking about of the season. The one season that ends with the Willow arc is one of my favorite endings of a show. She is one of the characters who has the hardest journey, all about personal discovery, struggling with addiction and loss. Going on that with her was hard and painful to see, but worth it in the end. Giles and Xander, the show wouldn't be what it is without them. Giles being Buffy's protector, her emotional support, and her dad. He cares so much for her and the group, and you love him just as much as the characters do. Xander is the heart of the show. He goes through his struggles, but he is fun-loving and loves everyone no matter the mistakes they make. He is the glue that holds the group together. I love every single one of them. Buffy is one of the shows where you can watch and see the surface of it, but if you look deeper, there's so much more meaning. It's about growing up, guilt, love, and pain. There's so many iconic episodes and hilarious moments, but there are also missteps and low moments, but it stands the test of time, objectively having one of the best series finales ever made. The series still thrives to this day, still being looked at as one of the best shows, and I'm right there. I hope to dive into each season in the future, but until then, have a great Tuesday. Good stuff. Amanda is actually friends with Amber Benson, who was on the show and played Willow's girlfriend. And there was a character's name, and I can't remember, but Willow's girlfriend and him were very much at odds on the show. They had a lot of nasty scenes together, and they dated for a while. And Amber would crack up because when she would go, like they'd be at like a restaurant or something, and somebody would come up and be like, "Hi, I'm gonna be your server." No, and they're like, "No, it's fine." It's like, what is this? And they're like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." It's just like you get out of here. That's what happens. Spencer Harding, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah. I want to dance with somebody who loves me. Gino Elite. Hey, allies. I could have sworn that was a placeholder. I went back this morning being like, okay, what's the actual post? Spencer wants, hopefully all of you are dancing. Gino Elite. Hey, allies. I mentioned a while back about writing a book, and I'd like to let you all know that I finished it.
Nice.
Very exciting. Took about 4 years. Anyway, if anyone is interested in reading it, let me know. I would love some beta readers. Again, patreon.com/ECAllies. You can reach out to Gino. See him in the comments. The book is a fantasy fiction about 7 fallen angels who represent one of the 7 deadly sins. They are bent on eradicating mankind, who they blame for their fall from grace. And so it's up to a group called Hail Mary and their latest recruit to stop them. The book is about as long as the first Harry Potter, and if anyone is interested, feel free to send me a message or reply. Thanks for your time. Love and respect, Gino.
Wow.
Hopefully we get like an excerpt or something. Let me do your book on tape. Your audio book.
That's a lot of talking. If it's as long as you just...
Yeah, I've done them before.
Yeah,
that's...
you've done a book on tape.
I've done a book on tape.
Whoa.
I've recorded a book on tape. I'll leave it at that. The mystery. Can we get it? No, you can't. It was a gift. I was going to say something, but I can't remember. I think it like reminded me of something.
There's going to be bootlegs now.
Of the what?
They're going to find them.
You cannot find that. There's no way. You cannot find it. It was I think I might have told you about this before, and I think I've said it before in the audience, but it was 10 years ago now, but it was Amanda's 30th birthday. I got all of her friends together, used the booth that we still use, and we did the first Harry Potter book. So I cast everybody of all her friends.
Oh, nice.
And then I narrated it and played Harry. Asbo Zapruder, good afternoon, gentlemen. This is going to be a weird one, as February was a bit of a wash in a lot of ways. However, March is Easy Allies' anniversary month, so instead of writing about whatever I've been doing, I've come bearing a request and a present. As you may be aware, EasyX will be happening in a few weeks. I will not be attending for a variety of reasons, including money, distance, home obligations, and I'd have to actually be around people. I hear you. However, in keeping with the overall theme of playing games with fellow allies, I thought it might be fun to have an official Easy Allies room in Tetris 99. To that end, I ask the two of you to come up with a 6-digit number for a private room that anyone can pop into at any time over the weekend to play against other allies and a bunch of low-level bots. That's a request. So six digits.
6-digit number.
Yeah. I got 3 numbers. What you got?
Well, 032116.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right. 032116. There you go. Day we started. All right. Blood nailed it. For the present, I knew I wanted to get you something, but I wasn't sure what. So I pulled out my Hallmark pocket calendar, and according to the back cover, the traditional gift for the 4th anniversary is fruits or flowers. Since I'm on the other side of the country, that didn't seem practical. So I looked at the column for modern gifts, and according to that, the suggestion for the 4th anniversary is to create a database of every game the giftee has ever streamed. That's not.
No.
That's not. So that's what I ended up doing. I've called it the Internet Easy Allies Database because that's the best I was able to come up with. I'm very much open to better suggestions. The link is below the post. So again, this is Asbo Zapruder. This is the post that he left on the March 2020 Community Showcase, patreon.com/EasyAllies. And it's intense. I didn't look through all of it, but I definitely had a gander. I've also included my email address so people can send in corrections if they find any errors. My intention is to update it on Sundays, since that's also when I post together the panel show weekly schedule for Reddit, and then I'll have one day for my internet homework. I actually wasn't sure if I'd have this done in time for Community Showcase, but as luck would have it, I spent a week in February in a hospital room with my mother. That's not luck. Don't worry, she's okay. Well, okay for a woman in the upper middle stages of Alzheimer's anyway. Love to your mom. The point is, I spent several days with a sleeping mother, my laptop, and some passable Wi-Fi. And I was not only able to get this done in time, but I was also able to add a tab of every game brought to Frame Trap.
Wow.
This was actually fun for me to put together. It's a good half-brain activity when catching up on podcasts and audiobooks, and something I find relaxing when doing and satisfying when done. I love making lists of stuff. I just went up. We went up to a cabin, and I was inspired by not only Magic the Gathering, but of course your fantastic performance in the tournament. And I brought up every Magic the Gathering card we owned and like sorted it into all the colors and tokens and land and all that stuff. So we can make new decks and stuff.
Yeah. So a couple of things that are kind of crazy. Number one, like good luck with those Huber streams. Like he did this one, like he was told. Yeah, because I was asking whether he wanted me to put it on YouTube or not. The one that he did Saturday night. And he was like, it's Division 2 and Modern Warfare and Monster Hunter. And I knew he played Division 2 and Monster Hunter. Like, when did you play Modern Warfare? And I looked through it, and it was like literally like one match or something, like between rounds of Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So it's just like, good luck catching that stuff. But the other thing it reminded me of is when I was in middle school. I only had like a little like 286, but it had a spreadsheet program on it, and so like what I did was I had created like an index of Nintendo Power.
Nice.
So anytime that like a game was mentioned in a Nintendo Power, even if it was just like a little paragraph thing about because sometimes those previews that they would have of things coming up would just be like almost nothing. I would have the name of that game, and then listed would be the issue numbers and the page numbers that would be on. So if anyone ever had like a question on a game, I could go bop, 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 bop. Okay, here's everything I know about it.
That's awesome. I had a friend of mine in high school that wrote down, and I remember when he brought it in, I was so impressed because it was on, I don't know what you said, was it like dot matrix paper? What's the paper with the holes on the end? What do you...
I don't know if that's what it's called, but sure.
Right, but it's like when it prints out, it prints it in just like one giant sheet. And you had one of those things that folded up from like the top to the bottom of everywhere Sam leapt in Quantum Leap, who he was, what year it was, and what city he was in, I think.
Got it.
And I remember he like brought it to school one time, and I was in, I did a lot of theater stuff in school, so I was in like at the theater in like drama class, and he like brought it, and I saw him like show it to some people, and they were like, okay, Sean, whatever. And he like showed it to me, and I was like, I'm very impressed by this. It's like, this is amazing, Sean. Well done.
Pin feed is what Jesse Blue says.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's intense. It was really good.
Because that's the thing, because like dot matrix is more about like how it prints, but like the holes are, could potentially be on different technologies.
You can hear that printer going. So yeah, this is epic. You gotta check out the database. It's really intense. I hope it's something you and the others find interesting and or useful and not too weird. It is definitely weird, but it's not too weird. Anyway, the point is, happy 4th anniversary, Easy Allies. Much love, respect, Asbo Zapruder, a.k.a. Screaming Argonaut. Nice. Jai Aldiar, hi Jones and Blood. Even with Sony dropping out, this year's PAX East was still a great time, full of excellent games and an enthusiastic community. I ended up splitting my time between games, panels, and volunteer work, so I decided to highlight all three, giving a cross-section of 3 games to keep an eye out for, 3 panels that made an impression, and 3 organizations for the community to consider supporting. Games, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. This game is still going, man.
Yep.
When is this game going to come out?
I think Ben is right. The chances of him playing that at E3 seems pretty high.
Nice. The PAX demo was combat only, but the game itself will feature both fighting and farming. The combat feels smooth and exciting, with combinations that build on each other into incredibly satisfying kills. Greek Memories of Azure. Greek, G-R-E-A-K, like freak with a G.
Oh.
A single-player adventure where the player alternates between characters with different skills to solve puzzles, with a cute art style reminiscent of Hollow Knight. Cool. Raji, an ancient epic. A beautiful R-A-J-I. A beautiful action-adventure featuring engaging combat and an exploration of Indian mythology. Neat. That's one of the things I love about PAX. Rice and Ruin is epic, but I have never heard Greek or Raji before. Panels, Baldur's Gate 3, a gameplay demo rather than a panel, but I can't pass up the opportunity to express how incredibly excited I am for this game. Divinity's gameplay combined with the Baldur's Gate world looks amazing, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Am I Geek Enough? A validating and uplifting hour of women and non-binary folks sharing their experiences in male-dominated geek spaces and their efforts to build communities within communities. It's a 10 out of 10, actually. Shout out. A delightful hour where the panelists, including Jessica Lynn Verdi and the hashtagonists, pitched the audience on games they believed were a 10, whether or not they actually qualify. Major bonus points to Rami Ismail for the truly inspiring feat of giving one of the funniest presentations I've ever seen while being directly in the middle of dealing with the announcement of GDC's postponement. Organizations, take this. Runs the AFK Room, a quiet space for recharging at cons, and works to raise awareness of mental health challenges within the gaming community. I Need Diverse Games. Focuses on sponsoring marginalized creators to help them attend industry conventions, consults with big-name game developers to make sure that issues of diversity are handled respectfully, and promotes streamers and gamers and game writers of color on their Twitch and blog. Jimmy Fund, Let's Game. Organizes streams to help fund cancer research at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Look into supporting any of these great organizations, or if you end up attending any cons in your area, check out if there is a charity attending that you'd like to donate an hour or two of your time to. That's a great idea. So that's this year's PAX East update from me. I'll miss making it out to EZX this year, but hopefully I'll see the Allies either at year 5 or out here in Boston for next year's PAX. We can only dream.
Cool.
I want to go to PAX East. Juan Roland Jr. Hola, Jonesy Bloodworth, going straight into my backlog catch-up list. Some of these were already being played prior, but just now hit credits in February. As usual, these were played on the Switch unless noted otherwise. Mutant Year Zero: Road to Eden. I feel like I did back you up on that one. I think you threw that to me like, hey, it's Mutant Year Zero, and I was like, I'm not. I think I didn't have time for something. I think I surprised you.
No, I think
you thought I was lined up for that.
No, it's the other way around. I had myself lined up for that game, and then I just ended up blowing it. Whatever was going on, I ended up never getting a chance to really dive into it and cover it.
But this, I don't remember this. Hard for me to turn down a game with anthropomorphic characters, especially when they're mutated animals with powers.
Yeah, you don't remember? Like, that was the whole thing about, like, the key art with the, like, Donald Duck looking guy?
No, I don't remember this. I thought Mutant Year Zero... Okay.
There's the duck guy, and there's the pig guy, and then there's, like, a more human-looking character on the key art.
I think I confused this with the game where there was just, like, giant robots walking around like fields, and there were people with like AK-47s.
That's Generation Zero.
Generation Zero,
which is another one that I meant to check out.
Yeah, that's the one.
Just sitting on my Xbox.
That's the one that you were like, Generation Zero, open world robot survival, and I was like, no. Okay, Mutant Year Zero. Okay, Mutant Year Zero. Good turn-based.
Mutant is a pen and paper RPG.
Got it. Good turn-based tactical RPG set in a post-apocalyptic setting. While I've only played a handful of strategy-type games, none I've played before allowed me to fight certain enemies in a large map area. Normally, you'd hit that first enemy and it starts the whole battle sequence, but here, you can pick off stragglers, making the large fight easier to deal with. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Here we go. Xbox One X. Yes, this game is extremely copy and paste, and still buggy. With that said, I really appreciated the variety of character designs. If you look at all the important players of the story, there is a design variety I don't often see in other games. I still felt Wildlands was better. Nice. I agree with that sentiment. Pokemon Omega Ruby on 2DS. This will be spoiler-free, Jones. I'll forget it anyway. I've only played Red Moon, Let's Go, Eevee, Shield, and Silver all in that order. Decided to go Gen 3 next. Right off the bat, I fell in love with it. Removing the nostalgia I have for Red, this is my favorite one so far. Thanks to the EZA Twitter community who gave me great advice on which games of each gen to invest in moving forward. My Memory of Us. A noir-like puzzle platformer that reminded me a lot of Valley Parts.
I played this. Yeah.
Nice. Only where you control two children. The story is based on the occupation of Poland during World War II, and it's clear who the evil robots that are painting certain people red are supposed to be. Also, I had no idea that the game was narrated by Sir Patrick Stewart himself.
That was a surprise for me too.
Nice surprise hearing
I
him.
played that on. I started that on stream. It was one of my like what's on Bloodworth Switch streams, and yeah, like we start playing and like, is that Patrick Stewart? And like, sure enough, it was. I'm like, what the heck?
Is that Patrick Stewart? Of course, it's Patrick Stewart.
Well, you know, like somebody
once
could be
you hear
trying to sound like Patrick, you know,
Yeah.
like, but it's just, you know, in a small game like that, you just don't expect it.
You know, it's a weird Patrick Stewart snub. He's on the soundtrack. Narrates Nightmare Before Christmas, the opening and the ending. There's actually an ending. There's a little bit more in the opening. They cut out part of the opening, and then there's a whole ending thing from Patrick Stewart. And then they got somebody else in the actual movie. It's like, what was wrong with Patrick Stewart? Got fired? Excited about this, though. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, folks. Huber said it's lifeless during the Cody Best 7 talk. Never once felt the almost 40 hours I put into it. Was the story cheesy? Sure. But seeing superhero after superhero was fun for me, especially the small lore bits given here and there. Yes, loved it. ISO 8 shards felt unnecessary for the most part, and I loved all the voice acting. Brian Bloom, Erica Lindbeck, Ashley Birch, Nolan North, Gideon Emery, my favorite voice actor, and even Yuri Lowenthal reprising his role as Spider-Man, yes, from the 2018 game. Challenge Rifts made me come back for more, and loved finding good character combos. Played almost exclusively with Spidey, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Scarlet Witch until I got my DLC 1 gang. Really wished the DLCs had story to them. DLC 2's Danger Room was beyond frustrating. Oh, I never checked that out. Only have Thanos left to unlock, and I can't wait for the Fantastic Four in March. Oh, nice! To complete the roster. Great 7, in my opinion. Till next time, amor y respeto. Yeah, had a friend of mine in our book club come up, and Brent Phillips, who's an ally, built our website, built Sifted.net, was involved in game trailers for many years. Friend of ours asked Brent and myself, he's like, all right, I got the Switch, Ultimate Alliance, should I pull the trigger? And I know this guy's like a huge Marvel fan. I was like, I really liked it. And Brent's like, come on, Brent, come on, it's fun. Another fun thing that I wish I talked about in Goaties is if you were super into the MCU, if you were super into Infinity War and Endgame, it's fun to see all of those characters realized as they are in the comics. So characters would pop up and I'd be like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, it's her. It's the Thanos'. Oh, cool. But like, that's what she actually looks like. So that was neat. As someone who does not know a lot about Thanos. Master Pants. Hey, can I do a PSA on Microsoft Rewards?
Sure.
Okay, good. Just getting permission. With the new Game Pass Quest system, I thought I would share some tips and tricks for earning points efficiently. Okay. Starting with the new Game Pass Quests. Some are efficient and some not so much. The ones that ask you to play a game or log into the app only take the few seconds required to launch the game or app and are totally worth it. The rest of the weekly and monthly quests that require you to actually play the games and earn achievements are not really worth your time, even with the completion bonuses, unless you're having fun while doing it. Looks like if you complete all the Game Pass quests in 1 month, you'll earn around 3,600 points, which is almost enough to get a $5 Microsoft gift card if you followed my advice. There's lots of rewards to choose from, but the best value, in my opinion, is the Microsoft gift card. You want to wait, though, until they put a hot deal on the gift card, which only happens once or twice a year. This lowers the cost of the $5 gift card to 4,000 points, normally 5,000. Plus, you earn more points for every dollar spent in the Xbox store, making the gift cards even better.
Right.
By the way, you can even use the redeemed gift cards balance on hardware, like an Elite controller or the Series X. The best place to earn points is on the Microsoft Rewards website. There's a set of daily polls, quizzes you can do in a couple minutes by blindly clicking on things. You can also get a big amount of points per day.
I'm over the poll thing. Like, Nintendo did the poll thing for so many years to, like, do Club Nintendo points. I'm like, no more. Done with that.
You hear that, polls?
I'm just, as far as those, like, Microsoft rewards, it's like whatever I get from just playing a game on Game Pass.
Right.
Automatically, that'll be it. And if I get enough points saved up, then sure, I'll get the $5 card or whatever.
You also get a big amount of points per day by searching with Bing on your computer and your mobile device, just by typing a letter into the search bar, pressing enter, and then type another letter and press enter, and it'll bring up your browser console. And under more tools, you can have your browser emulate a mobile phone, so you can do those searches right on your browser.
Wow, dude. That's a tip and trick.
Wow, right, Master Pants.
Yeah.
For other efficient ways to earn points, sign up for the Rewards newsletter, get the Bing app on your phone, and get the Rewards app on your Xbox. If you stick to the most efficient stuff and save up for the hot deal gift cards, I would estimate you're technically making a solid supplemental hourly wage for your effort. If you have fun taking the extra time to do the achievement and gameplay-related quests, then you might as well do those too. I actually fell in love with State of Decay 2. I've seen a lot of love for State of Decay 2. Mm-hmm. Somebody was like flipping out about it on social media the other day, thanks to these quests. Hope this helps anyone interested in the reward system. Thanks for listening. Keep up the good work. You keep up the good work, Master Pants. Do the good work for the community. I love that. I love that too, because it just came up on the podcast as well. RF Switch. Greetings, Jones and Bloodworth. Let's start with a book update. After writing the book layouts for Book 7, I decided to go back to the first 3 books and expand them a bit. Because I wrote these are books RF is writing. because I wrote the layouts in shorthand and feel I could broaden them and flesh out some of the scenes or correct things I didn't like. As of right now, I've completed the rewrite of book 1, which means I now have written 5.5 books worth of layouts since November. After this, I'm going to take a bit of a break before drawing concept art and covers for the books. Anyways, since I have a backlog that could blot out the sun from years of not being able to buy new games, I have slowly and steadily bought several that I wanted to play through for a while. Right now, I am finally playing through the RE2 remake, as well as Undertale, and both are fantastic. I can see how much of Earthbound is in Undertale, especially after beating it on the normal route, and I immediately fell in love with the characters, and the RE2 remake might be a better constructed game than the original. Apologies to Huber if he's upset by this. I also have we won't tell him. I also have Horizon Zero Dawn, nice, Persona 5, nice, and Soul Calibur 6 to wade through. While I haven't thrown myself into P5, I have beaten Horizon, and I'm doing a New Game Plus on the hardest difficulty.
Wow.
Soul Calibur 6 was more of a desire because it's been too long since I played a Soul Cal game. I also have more game I'm getting. I also have one more game I'm getting, so I can assist a friend of mine with her stream and co-op games with her. That game, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Nice.
This is a very Animal Crossing heavy showcase. Just to prepare yourself.
Okay.
Never been one for the Animal Crossing or farming games, but her enthusiasm with the game is contagious, and with her dream of to become a full-time streamer, I figured I'd try to help in any way I can. I'll link her Twitch channel at the bottom. It's been a chill stream of easygoing games, and who knows, maybe you'll hear my strange voice in the future. That is all for now on updates. As for drawing, I might start posting some of it to the showcases, as I know there are a fair amount of artists in the community who can help me through the process of learning. Thanks everyone for listening. Love and respect, RF Switch. I would love to write a couple books someday. Drawing the covers? New. I will not be doing that. I will have someone else do that. Ever want to write a book, Blood?
Oh, sure. I mean, I'd have to have something to inspire me to write about.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, would definitely be...
Nintendo Power Articles. The definitive guide. Bearded Scotsman 86. Hey, Brandon and Bloodworth. At last. Oh, sorry. As last month I didn't talk about my gaming at all, this month I will give both January and February progress.
Small bit of trivia, though.
Ooh.
Not that it necessarily counts, but I had my first book published in second grade. They had a thing at school where like there's a young writers conference, and like I wrote the story, and there's like another kid that like did all the illustrations, and then they basically printed it out, and like they made like a cover out of like wallpaper,
nice,
or whatever. And so
did they pair you up with that other student, or did you like go over and like, hey,
I don't remember exactly.
I see you doodling over there, and
why we ended up working together like that. I don't remember like how much of that was the t-shirt, how much of that was just us. But yeah. But I got it on my bookshelf still.
What was it about?
Oh, it was literally just like about stuff I got for Christmas.
Nice.
It was just a small little thing, but then like I kind of like fantasized it with like like hearing Santa Claus come and all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. At the start of January, I finished off Lego DC Supervillains to get the platinum. And then I moved on. I wonder how platinums in Lego games. I wonder if those are brutal or not. Gotta play some. Gotta play. When does Star Wars come out this year? The 1 through 9 crazy collection.
Oh.
Did they put a date on that sucker?
I have no idea.
Oh boy. I really, really want to review that. I really, really want to have make the time to review that. Let me put it that way. And then I moved on to Shenmue 2 to get the platinum in that. I enjoyed both games, although I felt Shenmue 1 was better than 2. Many feel that way. 2 felt a bit too long, whereas 1 was more to the point. I started Apex Legends in the middle of the month, and in just 2... Is that a game you start? Is that like a start?
Well, you have to start.
I guess, yeah, but just like... There's no ending to Apex Legends. And starting Apex Legends is interesting. In the middle of the month, and in just 2 weeks, it reached level 50. Nice. And got all the trophies. Oh, so there you go. Got all the trophies. Done. There's the end. It is a fun game, although I wish they would fix the buggy server connections. On multiple occasions, I would get disconnected from my group when starting a match as I lost connection to the server, or I would get in a game and be missing 1 or 2 other players on my squad, probably due to the same error on their end. I did a ranked match at one point and was the only player in my squad. Since it is ranked, I couldn't quit or I'd be punished with a 5-minute timeout of ranked. I dropped late, looted everything I could, made my way to each circle. I had one guy run into my building, so I got that kill. Thankfully, He was the last member of his squad. Then I got down to me versus a squad of 3. I downed one of them and ran away. Went back and took another health down low. Then I hit again. The circle started to close, and none of them made it in. So they all died, and I got the win. I'm fairly certain if they had charged me together, they would have won. I haven't heard all the Apex Legends issues. Is that like a known thing?
It was probably like a weekend problem or something. You know, that happens with a lot of different games. I remember seeing an update of something recently. Some game was having issues, and they were like, "Sorry, we're gonna get it fixed."
Yeah.
I think it might have been Forza Horizon 4 even. Like, yeah, it's stuff just happens to servers once in a while.
I also started Horizon Zero Dawn. Another shout out. I've enjoyed it so far. Still getting to grips with taking out some of the bigger robots. For February, man, I saw somebody posted some crazy GIF or clip or something of them just like whooping some robot's ass. And it's been so long since I played that game that it's like you get so ingrained into a particular form of combat. It's like Sekiro, you know, it's like you've moved on now. And imagine like, you know, like 2 years from now, you just like, well, see a Sekiro clip and you're like, oh yeah. You know, like, and not just like, you know, blocking and stuff like that, like the tools specifically. I remember like you have like a slingshot, so you have like this lob, and just that arc, just getting to know like exactly how far that would travel, and if it was far away, like how far up I would have to aim it for it to bounce. Haven't used a weapon even close to that in games since, and just like watching that clip, I was like, oh yeah, that slingshot, it's coming back. Excited for that sequel. For February, I picked up Real Farm in the sales for 20 pence. Real Farm. Capital R, capital F. Real Farm. None of those fake farms. I figured, even if it's terrible, it hasn't cost me enough to care. It's been a fun game to chill with when I watch TV shows. Although it got too repetitive near the end when I got the platinum. Gotta get that platinum. Real Farm. Gotta circle Real Farm. Real Farm's gotta get some lip service in the description for the showcase. And no description of Real Farm. I guess it is what it sounds like it is. In the sales, I picked up Guacamelee 2, Stranger Things 3, and Doom 3. All fun games. Doom 3 coming up in the showcase. Doom 3 has been getting me more excited for Doom Eternal, which will be my first pre-order in years. I've also been working my way through some more of Red Dead 2. Still on Chapter 3 as I take a long time to do anything as there are too many distractions in that game. I'm jumping between the single player and the multiplayer. Just need to reach rank 50 and finish the multiplayer off. Love and respect. Bearded Scotsman 86. Speaking of pre-orders, this cracks me up because when Amanda was a kid, her mom would do a thing where she'd be like, you know, Amanda would be like, I don't want to eat any more broccoli. And Amanda would be like, okay. Or her mom would be like, okay, I'll give you a choice. You can have 1 more bite of broccoli or 2 more bites of broccoli. And Amanda would be like, 1 more bite of broccoli. Sucker. And it's like, haha, I just got you to eat more broccoli. And she like didn't get it until she was older. But so it's like you don't actually give the person a choice. You want them to take the thing. And so I loved like the end of the Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo when it's like, would you like to pre-order the standard version or the deluxe one? You're like, neither. Get away from me. What is this? And I'm like looking around like, how do I leave the screen? And like way down the corner, it's like, yeah, circle button if you just want to bail. But I almost like clicked on, you know, just the one that had less text. I just instinctively was like, yeah, wait, what's going on? Pre-ordering stuff. Benny Samuelson. Hey guys! These past 2 weeks, me and a few friends have been playing Wolcen. Lords of Mayhem. Wolcen? Wolken? Wolcen.
I don't know the right way to pronounce it. It could be Wolchen for all I know.
Wolchen.
But
Lords of Mayhem.
Yeah, I've been seeing that name pop up the past week or two.
Cool. It just released from early access after 4 years, and we just found out about it. It's a Diablo-like game, and that Diablo 4 void, many people feel, meant everyone jumped on this poor game and they weren't ready for it. It has been so hilariously broken. I think I'm going to circle Wolson, too. Thanks for that heads up. So hilariously broken, we spend half the time joking about how bad it is, and half the time enjoying the really great skill mechanics and gameplay. It has a lot of potential as it's borrowing a lot from Path of Exile and Diablo, and the mix combined with new ideas actually feels pretty fresh. The bugs are plenty, though. Bosses freeze in T-pose mid-fight, we town portal into a lone waypoint, into a black void, or struggle to find the right pixel on a bat to target them. Progress gets lost.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's a deal breaker, man.
Yep.
All this stuff's like, ha, but it's like, no, man. If you're with friends, I guess. Stashes get empty, tooltips get stuck, items can't be moved. It's a lot. They're patching things pretty quickly now, so maybe we can recommend it soon. The way the game lets you build your character any way you want and modify your skills is really entertaining, so I think we'll still stick with it for now. The launch in online was a disaster for a week, but it is shaping up now. Online betas well ahead of launch really isn't optional for this kind of game. It baffles me how devs are surprised every time that people want to play their game, especially for a game like this that has a lot going for it. Side note, don't forget Rocket League. I still can't stop playing 4 years in. It's so good,
nice.
And the community keeps doing more unbelievable stuff every week. Why don't we do a Rocket League tournament, man? Every time we talk about tournaments, because we all suck at that. Like, we all suck at Rocket League. Who's good at Rocket League? Among the allies. Maybe a tournament. I got Champ 3 rank this past month, so I'm about 45% as good as the pros now that I've reached the highest rank in the game. The skill difference is insane between the low-end top-ranked players and the pros. The greatest thing is that the matchmaking is so good that anyone can start and play with complete beginners and improve from there. There are, of course, some smurfs lurking, but for me, it has worked a lot better than other competitive games like CSGO and Overwatch, which is a nightmare to get into at this point. So, play Rocket League if you find the idea of rocket-powered car football appealing, even in the slightest. Cool.
Nice.
I think about that sometimes, like matchmaking. Like, do games that have really good matchmaking get credit for having good matchmaking? You know,
right?
Is that just something that
granted, yeah.
Is that just something you do just in the service of your community, or is that something you can really use as a selling point? Does word of mouth get around if your game has solid matchmaking? When do I think of that? When I play Galaxy of Heroes.
Or maybe it's just the natural thing. There's like, well, if you got good matchmaking, you got a good game. Well, then you got a game like Rocket League where people just keep playing it.
Yeah.
Rather than getting frustrated and leaving.
Because there's some matches I get paired up in Galaxy of Heroes where I'm like, I'm not even going to start this match because it's just ridiculous. I can just tell right away I'm going to get smoked. Jesse Blue. Hello, allies. Jesse Blue here. This past month has been a whirlwind of activity. I had a ton of stuff to do to prepare for Anime Milwaukee, which was the highlight of my month. Going to the show was a lot of fun. My daughter and I got a hotel room nearby, so we wouldn't have to go all the way back home if there were late panels we wanted to go to. That was awfully nice of you. I'm sure she had a good time. It was so crazy busy, I don't remember what we did, which nights, but we saw the Cosplay Masquerade, the Jen Brown Women in Caskets horror podcast, a couple of really bad Voltron panels, a couple of really bad Voltron panels, because if you do one, you got to do another. Wow. And a couple of really funny D&D panels. One where the person running the panel never actually showed up and the attendees just shared DMing horror stories.
Wow.
Nice. We spent a lot of time in the event. Wait, never actually showed up means they forgot. Never actually you know what I mean? Like maybe they, I don't know. I think they would word it, if they were late, I think that would be worded differently. If they couldn't make it, I think that would be worded different. Never actually showed up.
Right.
Seems like they texted them, they were waiting the whole time and just, never actually showed up. We spent a lot of time in the vendor hall looking at all the merchandise, and all the artists there have some really neat stuff. I attended the How to Book a Gig panel that was about anime auditions with Joel McDonald, who used to work for several years at Funimation, and in case you didn't know, is now the voice talent selector for Gearbox. Yes, that's right, Borderlands. Sunday was the voice acting for video games auditions panel, again with Joel McDonald. There were about 50 people in line when I got up to read for one of the characters. He said, you read for such and such character yesterday, right? I was the first one he seemed to remember, and they gave me positive feedback in combination, so it made me feel good and bolstered my confidence. That is a very good sign.
Nice.
That's all. Yeah, take that. Definitely take that. Definitely take that compliment. That's really good. So I was walking back in the dark room to sit down. I slipped in my business card and heard him whisper, "Smart girl." This made me smile all the way back to my seat. Later, I went to get an autograph from Erica Lindbeck, who has been on Easy Update Mysterious Monsters and is the voice of Jessie in Final Fantasy VII Remake. And she has about a 40-minute wait. And who do I see at the very next table but Joel McDonald? So when I got done fawning over Erica and getting my picture with her, which I saw on social media, I turned to leave and I step over to Joel's table. Then I hear your brand manager voice in my head, Jones. I'm so proud of this. And it says, it's not about the in, it's about the out. Have you heard this?
Right.
You heard my take?
Yeah.
I introduced myself to him again, thank him for his feedback, what a pleasure it was to be on the panel. He talks about my reads and about my demo. He gives me some suggestions, all nice and casual. I thanked him again, shook his hand, and then I was out, and it felt good. I know I'm just starting out and don't have any credits yet, but I'm really thankful for the advice and connections from you and the other allies and other VO friends like Amanda and Jessica Lynn Verdi that have helped guide me and will be very helpful in the long term. I think after EasyX in a few weeks, I'll be able to take the connections I've been making this past year and the work I've been producing, and it'll all click together and I'll start landing jobs. I know I have the skill, it's only a matter of time, and then I'll have you all to thank. Looking forward to seeing you at Disney. Take care and see you soon. Love and respect, Jesse Blue. Don't forget us. Um, uh, the thing that's great, Jesse, is like that never stops. Like following Amanda's career, like people helping people giving advice to people. Like that just doesn't matter. Like you see like directors that always work with the same actors, or you see people that's actors that are often paired up. That's why like you never want to burn bridges. You always want to set up these relationships. You want to be nice to people. You want to make a good impression. Because you are going to be working with those people again and again and again. My brother actually got a bunch of gigs in doing VO for a lot of like Spanish TV shows on Netflix. So if you watch like Spanish Netflix and you watch the English dub, a lot of that is my brother. So he's just now kind of breaking in potentially into animation and narration and stuff like that. And so like he'll come over and hang out with Milo, and like Amanda and him will just talk for hours. So there's like always stuff, and he'll say stuff that she doesn't know because she was never really. He does a lot of looping, which is Amanda does that for The Simpsons, but that's just like if you hear crowds in the background, they'll just get like 5 men, 5 women, and just get them to do random sounds, cheering and screaming and stuff. But yeah, always more to learn. And I'm also looking forward to Disney. You going to Disneyland on Saturday? No, you're not. Yes, wow, you were going to be coming back from GDC, but you're not anymore.
Yeah, but no.
Oh. Brandon K. Gann. These first 2 months have been sparse. I thought I should be talking about Ori and The Last of Us Part 2 right now, but delays. Isn't that the first person to bring that up? Somebody else down the way is like, oh, by the way, just to make us sad. Oh, by the way, we could have been playing this today. It's like, oh, thanks.
Thank you.
I could be playing Animal Crossing right now. So I'll use this month's post to talk about the interests and collaborations that I've had over February. Although, to be fair, completely glossed over Brandon K. Gann's last comment on Papa John's. Just, whoosh, I don't know, missed it.
Oh.
I don't know if Patreon hid it from me or if I just saw his name and was like, Starting with my interests, I've been primarily filling my free time with 2 things. Gaming to prepare for the upcoming deluge of great titles, and following along another passion of mine, college sports, or more specifically for this time of year, basketball. Primarily, I've played Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I think I remember you bringing that up. Somebody brought up Gauntlet Dark Legacy recently. The Last of Us Remastered, and I just finished my 3rd or 4th New Game Plus run of Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
New Game Plus, and I'm so happy for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm so excited, but I can't. It's like I have that like devil on my shoulder the whole time. It's like never gonna make Final Fantasy VI Remake, and it's like I know they're not. It's fine. It's okay. But I was just like playing the 7 Remake, and I just remember like Crisis Core and mobile games and that Valentine game, and just can't even get a 6 Remake.
Yeah, but I mean,
a Game Boy game.
I also really like Final Fantasy IV, and they made the After Years, and then after that Damiani report, I'm like, okay, I don't need to touch that thing.
Yeah,
I would just stay away from it.
I would take a bad 6 offshoot. Even if it was terrible, I would play it. New Game Plus really makes the latter better, as you can start a new game as OP as you can get, completing a lot of the 300 missions in the game earlier than normal. Now, with the remake demo going live yesterday at the time of this showcase, all free time between now and Ori's release will be dedicated to going through it again and again. Yes, I am that hyped. Have you played it?
Twice.
All right. Just that. I played it once.
I mean, Damiani played it like 8 times. Max played it like 30 times last. I mean, twice is like the low number right now.
I am not going to play it again. Did you use any Phoenix Downs on that boss fight? I got whooped.
Once.
Man.
One time, yeah.
Because I couldn't, every time I tried to heal, it was just a missile. It was like, ah! And it was just like, dodge, get out of the way.
Yeah, you definitely get knocked back when you're trying to use an item. I definitely had that happen a little bit.
It took me a long time to get that.
I want to know
but
if they're going to have like...
It's so good. It's so polished.
A classic mode with a normal difficulty? Because I tried the classic mode the second time around. I have not
tried it. Okay, there we go. That's why you play it twice. Yeah. I should play it twice.
And so like, I just want to see what it felt like. I'm like, oh, I might prefer this, but this is now ridiculously easy. So
in classic mode?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because it wasn't just
easy to say.
Because it's the it's not just like assists or whatever they do for combat.
Yeah.
It's like it's also like everything has like way less health. So like when you do that Scorpion boss fight, like you barely see what it does on like the next round of whatever because you just tear through it so quickly.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm curious how that's set up. But it's so pretty, so polished, so much fun. I think one of my major things, there was one time I was on a staircase and the camera got a little, But
camera, I definitely feel a little bit.
judging by how crazy the action is, like, they do a really good job of, like, placing Barrett, placing Cloud and the enemies and everything. Like, I never, like, hacked into, like, a wall or, like, oh, I totally missed him.
And the other thing, the reason that, like, I'm kind of interested in, trying Classic more is because I don't really feel like blocking and dodging kind of work in the way that movement is set up.
Sure.
Like,
I wonder if it changes drastically per character.
Sure, but yeah, I just,
they're definitely slow.
Obviously we need to play more of the game. Like, blocking and dodging just didn't feel like the way the movement and stuff is. It's like, it's not, it's not like a game where you're, like, sitting there, like, reading every movement, and you're going to know when they attack very clearly.
What's really great is the Cloud's other attack is, like, Sinister Stance, or whatever they call it. When you block with that, he counters, and that's really fun.
Yeah.
When you're getting, like, circled. Those guys, the little ninja dudes that hop up, those guys are fun. As far as following basketball, for the most part, it's been a fun season, and I always look forward to the major 68-team tournament every year, though I envy everyone who isn't a sports fan because of the inevitable heartbreak everyone but one team has. As far as collaborations go, I've been able to do stuff with friends in the EZA Forums Goaty threads. With friends a lot more than in the past, and it's just the best. If it hasn't been said already, being able to participate in the EZA Forums Goaty threads is a lot of fun. We will get to that in a second. And I'm pleasantly surprised 6 of my 8 nominees made the cut for the top 25 of 2019. They're always a fun time, and I can't wait for the next one, which should be another previous year as we cover 2 or 3 Goaty threads every 12 months, including the current topical year. But outside of that, I've been helping with a couple of other projects. I've sat down with a couple of friends of mine, and I'm a part of 2 separate fantasy critic leagues, and it was a blast to put it together. We'll be checking in once a quarter to see where things stand, and I can't wait. The spooky thing about the Goaties is they're like, well, back in 2016, and I was like, oh man, we're 4 years old. We've been around for a while. The other thing I'm helping with is a podcast called That Ultimate Video Game List Show, sold already, where me and 3 others build, then rank the top 20 games of all time with 2 restrictions, 1 game per franchise and 1 game per system platform. It's kind of like our own version of Hall of Grades. We've built the list already, and we're about to use the next 4 weeks to rank them and ultimately retire the top ranked game into a Hall of Fame, which only has 1 game because I'm on season 2. That 1 game, God of War 2018. Love it. All right. Spencer, a.k.a. Spools a Thread. Hi, Jones and Bloodworth. Just something short this month that I'm deeply, deeply proud of. Something about watching all the churches go by when I'm in the car on my Tennessee streets. Just gets me thinking. And that usually gets me writing. See y'all next month for Easy X. Love, respect, Spencer. I look up at the church steeples on the side of the road. Southern summer heat shimmering off the pavement. And sometimes with my eyes caught in the glint of the sun off stained glass, I wonder, did Jesus look upon the faces of his apostles and think, is this what love looks like? Not a father's love, all-encompassing and forgiving, so long as you follow orders, do what you're told. Did he look on John's blue eyes and see the light glittering off the ocean? Wonder at the sharp slope of Thomas's jawline, or linger too long at Judas's wrist? Fingertips holding over a pulse point, a reassurance, a reminder. He is alive, he is here, he is yours. Did he lay awake among their sleeping forms, stare into a midnight blue sky scattered with stars, jewels placed there by his father's hand, chest swelling nearly to burst, a feeling he can't place, taking up all the space? Reach for the closest hand, but pull away at the last second. Did he like me, I wonder? Oh, sorry. Did he love like me, I wonder? The sun off the stained glass doesn't answer. Did you know it was a Jesus Christ Superstar?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that.
Play Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
Did a lot of research, did a lot of reading when I was in that show. It was fun. It was interesting knowing, because Andrew Lloyd Webber took a lot of liberties with Pontius Pilate. Because I think
Oh, sure.
Pontius Pilate's wife had the dream. Pilate didn't have the dream. Then she come to him and she's like, I had this crazy dream about Jesus. And he was like, oh, okay. Whereas Andrew Lloyd Webber's like, I'm not going to give her the song. Thank you. That was wonderful, Spencer. Captain Falcpone. Hi, Jones and Blood. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Going to use this opportunity to promote a long-running Korean comic I've been reading, which is getting picked up for an anime adaptation by Crunchyroll called Tower of God. Here are a few back-of-the-box points to entice the allies who like anime to not sleep on this soon-to-be hit show. Oh, just shout out, I can't remember who it was, who finished their book about the Hail Mary. Yeah, Gino Elite. Gino, really good description. There's so many times in my book club where we're like, hey, should we read this book? And it's like, read the description. It's like 8 paragraphs long, and it's just like, just let me know what the book's about. Come on. In like 2 sentences, I'm sold. That's such a great, you just really, not only did you describe it well, but it's a good premise for the book that you can just be like, it's like this. These are the bad guys. These are the people fighting them. I'm in. Bonds. This is Tower of God, the back of the box points. Bonds. Teams and the bonds between their members in rival teams is the core dynamic for the series. Story. I've been reading this for nearly a decade, and the seeds of plot planted early are still only just materializing. Tournament arc. The majority of the focus is on teams passing trials, and they almost all play out like a classic tournament arc. Bad guys. One of the most hateable villains in a story, talking around the same levels as Gendo, Ava, Griffith, Berserk, and Light, Death Note. Schemes and intrigue. Everyone is up to something. Everyone. No one is safe. You're looking at the Walking Dead danger levels for characters getting picked off. Don't get too attached. I'll admit the animation on the newly released trailers looks a tad rough, but if the story hooks you, there's always the comic version. Unrelated tangent. I was rooting for Blood the whole time during the Magic Tournament. Boy, that was an exciting watch. You did great, dude. May I recommend that if he mains blue decks, he takes up the moniker of Blue Blood. Love and respect. How'd you feel about blue? How'd blue treat you?
Yeah, I like blue. The blue-white combo. That was when I was trying to figure out what direction to go. That was kind of the hardest decision. Was do I go full blue or blue-white? So.
Right. Amanda did a blue deck, a pre-built blue deck when we were up at the cabin, and she had one card that was remove 7 cards from your deck and put it in your graveyard. And she, in the first time we played, she managed to get that card back after she had discarded it and then played it again. I'm like, stop it! So it's just and I think there's a couple that are just do that with 2 cards, do that with 2 cards. And I was playing red, and so I'm just burning through cards so fast, literally. Got her with 1 because I had a what's the red card? It's like Jolt or something, Bolt. It's like shock, 2 damage. And look at this guy. Look at this guy. And she had 4 health, and I had that 1 card left, and I think it was the last card I had. I don't think I could have pulled another card, and I just a ton of land. And she just wanted to take the damage on something. She's like, I got 4 health, I'll take that damage. Then I was like, oh, shock, I win. Yay. Because I got her down to 2. It's like, ha! Oh, that's Bossman coming back. I'm going to close the door.
Bro, he'll probably close the door.
Magic victories are one thing. Magic victories against your spouse, really good. Goldilocks. Yep. Hi, Jones and Blood. February has been a pretty weird month, as most of my attention has been spent trying to find a new job. In between applications, I've been getting in some gaming time where I can. While I said I would stick to the Yakuza Kiwami 2, stick with Yakuza Kiwami 2 in my last submission, I haven't felt the drive to go back to it yet. It's strange that in 3 separate Yakuza games that I've played, they've each had very different combat and level-up systems, with Kiwami 2 not quite engaging me in the same way as the previous games. The loss of the bowling minigame hurts too. One day I'll finish it off. Instead, I ended up getting absorbed in a type of game I previously thought wasn't my thing. Roguelikes never interested me because I thought the procedural generation of levels and dying over and over and over would get boring. But then I decided to take a chance on a game that I really want to play, Rogue Legacy. Never made time for it. Yes, I know the game is pretty old, but it was $3 on PSN, so why not, right? What I got was the ideal podcast game, with the legacy mechanic getting its hooks in me deep. I couldn't stop playing, as it hit that, okay, one more run vibe that is so hard to capture. I have now finished the game twice, all the way through, and I'm sure I'll hop back in many more times. Next, I've been craving Persona 5, and since it's going to be a while since I can play Royal or Scramble, I started a New Game Plus run of the original. It's been so much fun playing through with most of my stats maxed out and with the best weapons because it makes the whole process move so much faster. Right before the second palace, I decided to take a break so I didn't burn out on it. Now, I'd like to point you to a date we passed about a week ago. 2/21/20. What's the importance of this date? It was the original release date for Last of Us Part 2.
There it is.
I love it. It's the second time it's been mentioned. Since the series has been on my mind, I decided to play through the original again. Now that I have a newfound sense of confidence in my ability to get through it, I'm so much less stressed than my first run. Joel and Ellie have a permanent place in my heart, and I'm really enjoying a chance to explore the world, to look for all the collectibles without having anxiety about it. I'm about halfway through Pittsburgh, and I'm dreading the sewers that aren't too far away. My hype for Part 2 is sky high right now. That's it for this month. What will catch my fancy next time? I guess we'll have to see what's left on my backlog. Spoilers, the backlog is considerable. Love, respect, Goldilocks. Why isn't my hype level for Last of Us Part 2 like crazy? Because the first game is so good.
I'm not doing anything with it right now.
Because the first game is so good, and I know the second game is going to be so good. I think it's going to be great. My hype levels for the quality of Last of Us Part 2, but it's just not a game I think about that much.
Right.
Because I think Last of Us 1 like really surprised me. I don't think I was expecting to like it as much as I did. And so I think I'm just kind of like just waiting for 2. Like, oh, here we go again. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel like Sony's like really... They went a long...
There's also been like 2 trailers.
Right. They
3,
went a long
4
time
trailers.
where they were just like promoting games forever, and now it feels like they're like, let's just wait and talk about it right before it comes out. Because I felt this with like Neo 2, to where when it came time to like, put in a request for Neo 2, I'm like, nope. Nobody has emailed me about this game. Like, what is happening right now? And so like I was like, is Sony handling it again, or is Koei Tecmo doing it directly? And I looked it up and like, Sony's the publisher. And like, all right, let me email the guy who, handled Neo 1 and see if he's handling. He's like, yep, I'm the guy. I'm like, okay, cool. But then since then, they had the demo and they've been talking about it.
I ain't touching that demo because I ruined my appetite with that demo because of the time the game finally came out. I'm like, I've played this game for like 20 hours already. So I'm not going to touch that sucker until it comes out. James Davey, greetings, Brandon and Blood. I want to start this month's showcase by giving props to Brandon for his excellent impression of Phil Spencer. Thank you. I really wish I traded a burger in for an Xbox One S, and now I look like a pillock while doing it. Oh, wait. And look like a pillock while doing it. I don't know what a pillock is. P-I-L-L-O-C-K.
I know the word. I don't know it off the top of my head.
Did I just swear?
Don't think so.
Good. Shame Elise and Ian wouldn't play Sea of Thieves with you. Kyle's Dan Houser impression is also stellar. I want to ask Blood, what did you make of the Grid reboot?
The Grid... I actually ended up not getting a lot of time in on it. I played it, like, the first couple of rounds on Stadia when I was doing those Stadia impressions.
It's British swearing. Oh, no!
But it's one of those things. A stupid person, Google.
Oh, no. Well,
but yeah, so I don't have a lot of thoughts on it, unfortunately.
Well, James Davey thought it was very underwhelming.
I did feel like some of those tracks were like old tracks, even just like in the beginning stages. I'm like, oh, I remember this kind of thing.
Right.
So it's like it almost felt more like it wasn't, in a way, almost not a reboot. You know?
Like a weird remaster.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know. I can guess one on this list. What are your favorite racing games? This is from James.
Some of my favorites. Forza Horizon series, of course. F-Zero series, of course.
Yeah, F-Zero.
Burnout series, of course. Need for Speed has definitely had its moments. So.
What are some of the good?
Gran Turismo has had its moments, even though I'm not super into heavy sim side of things. But
it's crazy.
Like Gran Turismo is like work. F1 is like work, But it's like I enjoy those to an extent, but I also feel like, man, I've got to really have like that external push to like really get into them because you're learning, like you were talking about, with like an action game like Sekiro or something like, where you've really got to like dive in and learn this stuff.
Right.
It's so that's how something like GT Sport or F1 can be, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna be doing this same track for the next 6 hours, so.
We got a racing gameplay clip coming up. That was sped up, which is fun.
Oh, Dirt, yeah.
Oh, Dirt's one of your
favorites? Yeah, really good stuff, yeah.
I know, what was that? What was that one game you were playing like crazy, where like, it had untraditional like scoring, where it was just like how far ahead you were of the other person, not necessarily how close you were to the finish line. People like ravenously playing this game, and you were posting like screenshots of it all the time.
Oh, Onrush. Yeah, Onrush was really great.
Man, when we started game trailers, Gran Turismo was like a thing. That was like a thing that was like there was always good trailers coming out.
Oh,
it was always hype,
always
building hype for the next game.
For sure, yeah.
Is Polyphony Digital just like they just go to work every day and just work on the next Gran Turismo and?
Yeah, I mean that you know it's very much in the same kind of vein as like a Rainbow Six Siege or actually probably a closer example would be For Honor, right? To where it's like that game is still going. That game is still getting new content. There's still a community behind it. Do you hear about it from anyone else? Like, no. Yeah.
But it's just funny. I remember when like the PS3 came out, like that was one of the games you were like, you know, you looked at like, holy cow, look at that console. And then here comes PS5, and not talking about it. James Davey loves Blur, Wreckfest, Sonic, and Sega's All-Star Racing Transformers.
Yeah, Blur got a raw deal, man. That was a good game that did not get the attention. Well, it didn't sell well. It didn't have like Activision was the publisher, and Activision really did not have faith in the game for whatever reason, and so they didn't really push it appropriately, and so yeah, had a bad name.
Right.
So.
Forza Horizons 3, just Horizon 3, and 4, and Dirt 3, the original Grid, and Burnout 3 Takedown. Of course, always Burnout 3 Takedown. Would it be possible for the Allies to visit the UK at some point?
Would love it. Yeah.
It is possible.
Yeah.
There are planes that fly there. We do live near an airport.
I guess it depends on what you would describe as easy allies.
Right.
Are we going to take a trip as a group and do a thing there? Not likely.
Right.
If one of us is going to go there and do an impromptu meetup, could happen.
Whenever I plan vacations, it helps if there's a Harry Potter thing going on. So like now that there's a new Harry Potter ride in Florida, I can like maybe try to get that Disneyland trip going. You know, when Cursed Child opened in London, it was like, oh, maybe we can go. I'd like to once again send my commendations to all of the allies for their tireless efforts. The world would certainly be a lot hollower without your endless passion and ceaseless efforts. Thank you, James. Thank you for everything you do and enjoy my creative works. Love and respect. Yay. Oh, that's right. So there's more. Man, I'm going to butcher this because I didn't know this song. So I'm going to... here, we'll do this one. This is just a poem. Then I got to, like, sing this thing. People are getting me to sing stuff now. It's called Dirty Birds.
You did it to yourself, man.
I know. It's called Dirty Birds. James doesn't write about happy things. Just the heads up. Swooping down precariously on my shoulder, the gentle finch farted. It flailed, futtered, and flinched for a second thereafter, then readily parted. The smell of a rosebud blossoming on a smoky husk of volcanic ash and dust. Of all the odds, what made this pesky twitterer squelch out a putrid gust? I saw the twee fella up there, with its brazen brood of balding bitchy birds. All of a sudden, I see them circling the sky before they pelted me with turds. The cocksure sparrow, the conniving kingfisher, and that riotous wretched robin, all gathered around furnishing fiendish frolics like an Italian-American mobkin. That's a stretch, that one. O Lord, please stop thine harsh torment and rid of these saggy salacious swallow. Send me your sanitations, end the filth, give these flying vermin orders to follow. Curse these flying avian pests, those plucky, petulant, parading, pious, puny, paltry. This torment is making me blush in embarrassment. Now I'm boiled and sultry. Now I get my revenge for their sophomoric silly sensations with my trusty rifle. Then get back to my family, ready for tonight's main course, a nice feathery trifle.
Okay.
And now I don't remember the song. So he said it must be sick, a Madness parody. And I looked up Madness songs, but I looked up songs called Madness, but it's Madness. One step beyond. It's the band Madness, who I don't know. So, damn it. I listened to the song a couple times before I left, and now I don't remember it. Sorry. I'll just read it. I always thought I smelled it, the throw up on the floor. And I never thought I would stay here, on the way my guts start to churn. As soon as my eyes look, down and up and down. I know just what I need, a mop and a spray. It must be sick, sick, sick. It must be sick, sick, sick. Always gross, always sour, sick as a mess. How can I stand here and ask why no one cleaned this up? Curse here and curse there, curse the rats and the pigs. I've got to clean you, up and down and up. My nose won't be free until it goes away. It must be sick, sick, sick. It must be sick, sick, sick. I think it's It Must Be Love, the actual song. Always gross, always sour, sick as a mess. Thank you. Barf and Farts. There we go, from James Davey.
All right.
Racing game, barf, fart. Space Dawn. I'm sorry for forgetting that tune. I just didn't know the tune. I know some Madness songs, but I did not know that one. And then I fell down the rabbit hole a bit by watching some Madness music videos. Space Dawn. I'd like to give you my pitch for the next Insomniac Spider-Man game, if I may. Remember how Spider-Man on PS4 gave you a list of crimes to stop in each New York district? Remember how they were fun, but a bit repetitive in the way that open-world games usually get? Well, what if in the sequel, each district had a different New York superhero assigned to it? Luke Cage in Harlem, Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen, and so on. And what if instead of going around foiling the same set of crimes, you foiled a different set of crimes unique to each hero, like purging demons for Doctor Strange, or tailing a white-collar criminal in Wall Street for Jessica Jones, or looking for Squirrel Girl's lost acorns in Central Park? And what if you develop bonds with these heroes that influence how later missions or story beats play out? Alliances, if you will. Wouldn't that be cool? I call it Marvel Spider-Man: Easy Allies. Ted Price will be hearing from me shortly. Totally. A lot of people after Spider-Man were like, oh, well, do you think they'll go back to New York? And hell, yeah, of course. There's so many things that they could do to build up that city. So many more interiors you could go to. So many more systems they can put in place. Oh, man. I am so excited for that sequel. And that's a really good idea. I had thought about, I think of all those characters, Daredevil, I think was the one I kept thinking of when I was running around New York. It would be cool. At least if, I think maybe he's mentioned. I know that there's, locations that you could see.
Right.
But I don't know if, Jay Jonah mentions him on his podcast or anything. But, yeah, it'd be fun if they're... And the Avengers as well, because the tower's there. Small Leviathan. Hello, Jones and Bloodworth. We've now officially entered the month of Animal Crossing, and between that, the new Risk of Rain 2 update due for March 31st, and the new Magic the Gathering expansion in April. I've got a lot of things to look forward to this spring. It's also my brother's birthday later this month, and since his favorite video game of all time is Pyre... You don't hear that very often. Favorite game of all time. I've decided to give him some official merchandise from the Supergiant Game Store. Really good Supergiant documentaries going on right now on NoClip. Yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of my brother, he bought me Monster Hunter World Iceborne as a very early birthday gift. I haven't played too much of it yet. I honestly need to get back to it, but it seems like the expansion really messed up the game's performance on my PC, as now I can't even get consistent 60 FPS with everything set to as low as possible, and that's a real bummer. Yeah.
Strange.
But let's talk about something that isn't a bummer. In fact, it's about as much of the opposite of a bummer as you can get. Because this February, I played Sayonara Wild Hearts, and it's honestly one of my new all-time favorite games. I loved every single moment of this game, from the glitzy music, not glitchy music, glitzy music, to the fabulous visuals, to the narration by Queen Latifah. I adore how unabashedly cool the game is, too. Sayonara Wild Hearts clearly isn't interested in trying to coax people over. You're either not going to vibe with it, or you'll be head over heels with it, like I am. Sayonara Wild Hearts isn't necessarily deep or complex, but it's a powerful, moving dose of pure euphoria that I think a lot of people might need in this day and age. Other than that, I don't actually have a lot of new stuff to talk about for this month. I've been picking up Dead Cells again. It's good, but I kind of hate pretty much every single boss in this game. They feel sloppy and never play to the game's main strengths of tight movement and bouncing between enemies, like a particularly deadly pinball. I think Dead Cells could do with a boss in the vein of Dark Souls 3's Deacons of Deep. Deacons of the Deep, or just Deacons of Deep?
Deacons of the Deep. Yeah.
Where you need to manage an endless horde of smaller enemies while also juggling several more powerful elite enemies. Just a thought, really. I guess I'll use my remaining words to shout out a YouTuber I recently discovered. If you like video essays that deep dive into a host of diverse games and genres, check out Sometimes Pauly. With only 3.2k subscribers at the time of writing, he is criminally underappreciated for all the hard work he puts into his videos. Well, that's all for now. I'll be seeing you all in New Horizons. Love and respect, Small Leviathan. P.S. Please tell Kyle to just stop it with his Animal Crossing hot takes. Whenever he talks about the series, he sounds like a Redditor with an anti-SJW in their username trying to explain to me why Animal Crossing isn't a real video game.
Okay.
For something, I don't know. For something like Animal Crossing, it's like Greg Miller made a nasty tweet about the Muppets like a month back or something, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't know. There's just Animal Crossing and Muppets are like kind of those things where I was like, say whatever you want, man. It just doesn't matter. It's just not something I'm like, I need you to like Animal Crossing. I'm like, no, that's fine. I'm good. Tyler Gardner. Hello, Jones and Blood. We're having another fairly light month as my gaming time has been severely limited by copious amounts of paper to be written for my classes. Turns out taking 5 comm classes, COMM in all caps, in one semester means a lot that, though to be fair, it is my major. Means a lot of that, though to be fair, it is my major. What's comm?
Communications.
Oh! Why did you say communications? Why COMM in caps?
Probably all over his schedule and syllabus and everything.
It just says comm. Like that. That's like the nickname. I was going to say, he dropped it there like I should know what that is. And Blood's like, communications, dummy. Sorry, I'm bad at communications. Mostly, my monthly gaming has been taken up by my return to my Hearthstone addiction. Blizzard is an awful company, but damn if they make a good card game. At the very least, I've promised myself not to spend money on it, and I'm abiding to that rather strictly. I'm also feeling the KOTOR itch again. I'll be honest, I have also. I don't know why. The characters, I've been leveling up the characters, working on them in Galaxy of Heroes. And just been playing lots of turn-based stuff lately, and just like, And somebody, I think Game Attack was playing KOTOR either this year or last. Perhaps in time for my yearly playthrough? Oh boy. Really, I'm just waiting for Animal Crossing to release. I need this game. While I played a bit of New Leaf, I was never really able to sink into it, as I felt out of the zeitgeist, so to speak. Oh, and don't be afraid. Once we're out of comments and go into art, and you're like, we're all done with the Animal Crossing love. Oh no. We're just getting started.
I didn't feel like we had really started yet.
Being able to play it a lot. Oh, yeah. Try harder. Everyone.
The way you sold it.
Being able to play it along with everyone else and have something to check in every night genuinely feels like the perfect game while I'm in college. Yeah. Plus, we have Persona 5 Royal out in just a few weeks. So the next month is looking pretty good. As I'm typing this out, I'm currently waiting for the final episode of Doctor Who to be available on Amazon Prime. This season has really been phenomenal. Good to know. Wow, that is a season of television that I missed. I finished the last season too, so I don't think I watched the Christmas special before the season started, so okay. I don't think I've ever been so intrigued at what a season finale will bring. That's all for this month. Love, respect, Tyler. Nice. I'll put that on the list. It's kind of how I feel right now. Like, I don't have that show or that game or like that one. Like, I'm watching Rebels, but it's just like I kind of know the story already. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for Animal Crossing. Let's do it. Axel, here we go. Goaty talk. Hey guys,
Goaty talk. Okay.
We recently completed our own 2019 Goaty elections in the EZA forums, as we like to do, and we'd like to hear your thoughts. As a reminder, this is how we did it. We all ranked our favorite games of the year, with number 1 to number 4 earning 5, 4, 3, and 2 points respectively, plus up to 4 optional honorable mentions getting 1 point each. And we tallied the votes to determine the final ranking. In case of a tie, the game with the most number 1 votes wins. Okay. If still a tie, the most number 2 votes, and so on. Here's the countdown. Number 25, Tetris 99 with 9 points. Number 24, Borderlands 3 with 10 points. Number 23, Judgment with 11 points. These are just all like really good games, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, Number 12. It's a shocker. Whew.
Jumping ahead.
Well, yeah, I want to entice people. Number 22, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Pretty low, I think. 11 points. Number 21, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3. Beating out Link's Awakening with 11 points. Number 20, Apex Legends. Feels good. 12 points. Number 19, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, also with 12 points. Number 18, Gears 5, also with 12 points. Beating out Gears 5. Number 17, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, 13 points. A game that came up way more in the Goaty discussion than I had originally expected. Number 16, Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown with 13 points. Number 15, A Plague Tale Innocence, 14 points. Feels good. Getting the nod. Curious to see what that dev does next. I wonder if that's like a franchise vibe. You finished Plague Tale, didn't you? Yeah.
No.
No, they're done. They'll move on to something else, you think?
Almost no way.
Almost
That
no way.
would be weird.
Got it. Number 14, Outer Wilds. Ooh, 14.
That's low. That's low.
14 points. Number 13, Disco Elysium. 13.
Also low, yeah.
What else is beating it? Okay. Yeah, all right. Sure, okay. These are, 11 to 1. Those are good games. 14, Outer Wilds, 14 points. 13, Disco Elysium, 15 points. Number 12, Days Gone.
What? Wow.
Exactly, dude.
Okay.
And I love Days Gone, man. I'm just surprised. But that's the thing. When you get a bunch of people to put together like their own personal list, and you literally just go by those raw numbers.
Right.
Yeah, Days Gone's gonna creep up there. A lot of people are gonna look back in the year and be like, I liked it. I love Days Gone. Days Gone 2. There's another game I'm definitely excited about. All right. 11 really, really good games. Number 11, Kingdom Hearts 3, 17 points. Number 10, Metro Exodus, 22 points. Number 9...
So actually kind of surprised that's that high, too.
Metro Exodus?
Yeah.
Nice. Devil May Cry 5, 25 points. Here we go. Number 8, Astral Chain, 28 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over DMC, wow.
Astral Chain over DMC. You did it. Number 7, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, 30 points. Feels good. Surprised it's that high, but I definitely enjoyed that. And, got axed from the Game Awards. That's not popping up at the Game Awards next year. Fallen Order.
It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with that game next year, yeah.
And then the classics. Number 6, Death Stranding, 39 points. Number 5, Control, 41 points.
Death Stranding got a bunch of
our respective goatees.
BAFTA nods.
Oh, nice. Number 4, Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
Yeah.
Definitely expect when you get everyone's collective list from our community, I definitely expected that to do very high. Number 3, The Outer Worlds, 45 points.
That's pretty high.
Very high, I think, for Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
And then number 2, number 1, the two duking it out for most goatees. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice at 2, 52 points, and Resident Evil 2 blazing ahead of everything with 68 points.
Nice.
A few additional fun facts. The Outer Worlds placed 3rd without receiving a single number 1 vote. So nobody truly loves it. Three Houses is the best ranking Fire Emblem game since we started doing this, beating Awakening's 8th place in 2013. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order 7th is the first EA game to place in the top 10 since Dragon Age Inquisition in 2014. The top 15 games are all single-player games. 6 games from the top 10 are from Japanese developers. 4 Switch exclusive, 4 PS4 exclusive, 1 Xbox One exclusive, 1 PC exclusive. The major snubs: Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's fine. It's fine. Snub is pretty strong. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Yeah, I'm surprised that's
yeah,
on
that's
there.
a snub.
Don't Call Me Mama, but Yes, I Am Your Mama scored 4 points, placing it above Yoshi's Crafted World. Feels good. Feels good. That person did not play a lot of games that year. Stephen Beaumont. Hey, Brandon and Blood. I'm finally out of my video game slump and feeling good. My son was the impetus of my reinvigoration, as he has been on and off playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and crit pathing to the bosses, at which point he hands me the controller to finish the fight. By the end of the Frozen World, I realized we were massively underleveled, so I decided to stay up late that night and grind it out. Aw. So it all came fun. I want a dad to grind out my games for me. If I hand a controller to my dad and tell him to grind out games, he will not. So it all came flooding back, that top 10 dopamine of leveling up. Then I found myself flying around in the gummy ship, collecting loot, and it felt good. Pokemon Home came out, so I now have every Pokemon I have caught from Gen 3 to now residing on my phone, and it feels good. I'm only missing 8 Pokemon for the complete National Dex, which are the 6 Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Mons and the 2 Pokemon Go exclusives, and I can live with that. Sure. Now, I finally started Fire Emblem Three Houses properly, although for me that is grinding out the free time battles to get everyone up to as high of a support level possible before moving on. I like your style. I'm 37 hours in on Part 1, Chapter 4, with 60,000 gold and a level 31 healer, so I think the back half should be pretty breezy once I'm ready to move on. Grinding Grin. I love a grinding grin.
Grinding grin.
The grinding grin. Finally, my son has been asking for the Donkey Kong DLC for Mario plus Rabbids for a few weeks, so we struck a deal for him to save up for it, and man, that is a fun few hours. I'm really looking forward to a sequel because the super clever use of the tactics environment giving Donkey Kong's simian abilities change the game in fun and unique ways. That's probably getting a sequel.
Yeah,
right?
I'm curious what kind of sequel that will get.
Considering Ubisoft's like having a crisis right now? Or just...
No, I just mean that, like,
it?
will they straight up do Mario plus Rabbids and a new story the way they did it before?
Right.
or will they, tweak the formula some way? Will we see other Nintendo characters, or will they do something different with the worlds, or I don't know. I'm curious. But I know that one way or another, that collaboration was fire. It did really well on the sales. There's no way that they're not doing a sequel to that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a surprise. If we saw them reveal that this year.
Yeah.
For E3.
You gonna go Smash with this puppy? We're gonna get Samus in there, or some. Get Donkey Kong in there. It's not technically a Mario.
I think if something like that popped in, I would expect it to be like a guest character or a guest world or something like that, where they end up popping into another world for a little bit. That character is in your party for a bit, and then they say see you. Cool. Yeah, kind of like Kingdom Hearts a little bit, but.
Donkey Kong can climb walls that others would need a pipe or team jump to access. He can also carry friends or foes with him on his turn and throw them for extra damage or tactical advantage, as an ally can cover twice as much ground if DK throws them before they take their turn. If you haven't played Mario plus Rabbids but love tactics or SRPGs, it is such a good time and always seems to be on sale, so don't skip it. Love and respect.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Menjivar. Hello, Blood and Jones. Greetings, chat. Each and every day we are getting close to the release of Animal Crossing. I just can't wait anymore, but I think I'm trying to think about other things in order to keep myself sane. During last month, I went back to my addiction. I've been playing Destiny like crazy again, and I'm enjoying it so much that I can't even believe it. A little bit of context on how I came to this game again. As you may have already guessed by the times I've written about Destiny, I really love this game, and I've spent a lot of hours grinding and playing with friends. However, at the end of November of last year, I felt burned by the game. I really didn't want to play it, so I stopped and played a lot of the games I had on my backlog. During January, I played Tokyo Mirage Sessions and really loved it, but then I started to play Dragon Ball Kakarot, and this is when everything started, or maybe ended. DBZ didn't click with me. In fact, I think it was very boring. Maybe I'm crazy. After 5 hours, I decided it wasn't for me, and so I started to see what else I could play. I spent a lot of time thinking on what to play, and the problem is that when you have a big backlog, you end up not playing anything since you don't know where to start. And finally, there it was. The game that was waiting on my dashboard that I hadn't touched in months. Yep, it was Destiny. I had the embarrassing moment of having Media Molecule in here, and they're like, let's play on your PS4. And I boot up PS4, and Dreams is way down the list. And I'm just like, sorry, guys, sorry. I've been playing other things. Never done that before. Never revealed my, to the actual developer. Like, sorry. For the last month, I've been playing.
My Switch can be deceptive in that way, because I'll have times where I'll download a bunch of games just because we have extra codes, and I don't want them to just sit on emails. Let me actually whether I'm gonna play them or not. If I'll just have them on my Switch so they're available. And so there will be this huge line of games that I've never touched, and then the games that I played more recently are behind that.
Got a lot of games. For the last month, I've been playing 3 hours daily, grinding like a madman and playing with friends. There is something special about this game, and I can't put it into words. You have, previously. I just know that whenever I start that game and think what I will grind on that day or what weapon I will be testing to try to be a PvP god, it just makes me smile and enjoy my time in the game so much. I've learned something important with all this. It's okay to stop playing a game you love so much in order to keep the love for that game intact. Sometimes you just need time to play other games in order to come back stronger to that game you always love. Well, that'll be everything from me this time, and as always, I wish you the best. Amor y respeto, Miguel. I think it's the same thing with Animal Crossing. So by the time a new one comes out, we're just I'm so hungry. Then we'll inevitably get to that point where we're okay, I'm good,
Yeah.
My town's good. Jason A. Sackle. February was an interesting month. We even got an extra day. Did I spend that extra day gaming? No, of course not. Did you hear about the Robinhood stock site? There's a site that sells stocks called Robinhood, and they didn't factor in leap year.
Oh.
So the site just shut down, and just all these people lost money. So they were like, oh, yeah, leap year! That's right, yeah.
Good grief.
Whoops! Oh, calendars are fun. What's funny though, when you're coding, calendars are fun.
What's funny to me is when people say oh yeah, we got an extra day, and I'm like, but February's still weird. February's still,
Yeah, it's still shorter.
Okay.
And we did the Q&A twice in February, so it was like we did the Q&A like 2 weeks later. Like
Right.
another Q&A. Yeah, February was weird. Did I spend that extra day gaming? No, of course not. It was a Saturday. I went to Busch Gardens, indulged in fermented beverages, and saw Collective Soul. I did play some video games, though, including entering the world of Death Stranding.
Nice.
In keeping with the 2020 rule, I'm not going to talk about how the plot is absolute garbage, nor will I address how the writing is pretentious tripe. While the game controls well and the gameplay is solid, I'm not going to go into how it's all undermined by an incessant stream of rubbish thrown into the player's face to the point where even my brother, watching from the peanut gallery, exclaims, "Jesus Christ, this game is full of itself." And I definitely won't delve into how the game keeps us cackling at the absurdity of it all as though it were a movie of Mystery Science Theater 3000 caliber. We'll see if my view changes as I continue my adventure with Thick McRunfast next month. So, keeping... he doesn't run that fast. So keeping to the 2020 rule... I guess you want him to run fast. Keeping with the 2020 rule, I did play more Monster Hunter World Iceborne. I was missing a little bit of that salt. We haven't gotten a lot of salt in the showcase so far.
Oh, yeah?
It's been a pretty joyful showcase. Sackle slipping in right at the end. We only got one comment after this, and then we'll get into the media. I did play more Monster Hunter World Iceborne. First, a huge shout out to Ben. I took his advice on getting an external SSD, and it made a massive difference in cutting down load times. It's also nice to be able to store more games without having to delete anything. Second, the game is just fun. Looking at all the hours I poured into the game as a whole makes me scoff at the time when I had played the demo and thought it was trash. Though I'm curious as to what I'll think of the Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo, currently on the download docket as we speak. I wonder if it can win me over. As for my thoughts on the original Final Fantasy VII, 2020 rule, so no comment. Anywho, the movie posters were revealed for Monster Hunter. Saw lots of complaining about no monsters being shown, but honestly, the reveal of a monster is better suited for motion than a still image. So kudos if that's what they're going for. I disagree. People just want everything spoiled these days so they can complain that there was nothing surprising when they see a movie. I don't consider a monster in Monster Hunter a spoiler. You gotta show...
You definitely shouldn't show all of them.
No, but I mean, I don't know.
You gotta show something, though. You gotta have, just like the box art, you gotta have your hero monster.
It's a cosplay photo shoot. I've even seen some cosplay photo shoots that, like, did more stuff. You know, like, added more effects and stuff. Anyway, maybe show them, like, actually to fight. Like, you don't see the monster, but you see them, like, clearly looking at something. Mm-hmm. They're clearly just like, I don't know. You want to go to internet?
But, I mean, you've got to see something. You definitely got to see something ahead.
Right.
Because, like, otherwise, like, yeah, if the monsters look terrible, then you're out. Like,
Right.
you don't want to see that movie.
Don't you know, it's 2020, we can redo that. If stuff looks bad, there's time.
That did not help cats, dude.
It helps Sonic the Hedgehog, though. Speaking of, no, the problem with Cat, they were just trying to make their quota, man. That wasn't like an audience reaction that made them change the graphics to Cats. They just weren't done yet. Right? Like they just ran out of time. I guess, I don't know. I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie as well. Have you seen Sonic? I haven't seen Sonic.
No. I mean, I don't really get out to movies that often, so.
It was fun. Leaving the theater at 12:49 a.m., kids were shouting, "Gotta go fast," while running around the parking lot. So I guess good job movie, bad job
A theater
parents.
full of kids at 12 a.m.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I also introduced a few more people to VR. Scaring people on their Virgin VR voyage is always a grand time. Agreed. One of my friends was screaming bloody murder, but they were having a blast. So many of my friends who don't play video games just love the thing. I also brought it to work for team building, where we played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, using it as an exercise in communication. Everyone had a blast. That actually works. It's actually a good idea. All right, XWF Outlaw taking us out of comments. Good afternoon, Jones, Blood, and chat. I got a few games I've finished or currently playing that all feature a common theme that is a favorite of this month's guest. Great. Do you have a guess?
Common theme. Great.
Games that have great soundtracks. Come on.
Soundtracks. Okay.
Over the past few weeks, I've been playing 2 games nightly as a perfect late evening cocktail and chaser. I started my evening with the adrenaline-fueled, nightmarish heavy metal ripping and tearing of the demons from hell in Doom 2016. Then as my chaser, I wind down with the mellow, tranquil, somber indie platforming tale of the escape from your mental demons in Greece.
Nice.
The former, I'm replaying to get ready to rip and tear until it is done in a little over 2 weeks in Doom Eternal. Doom 2016 has the best metal soundtrack to a video game. I will not be taking questions at this time. While my chaser Greece, just one other good game with a metal soundtrack. Brutal Legends wishes it had a metal soundtrack.
What is it? What's the name of it?
It's a good game.
It's I know the game.
I was saying
it's
the name of
it.
Wrong.
Tripwire Interactive does it. It's a bunch of zombies, but they don't call. Of course, they don't call them zombies. What am I thinking?
Wasn't Metallica gonna make a game and then they didn't?
No.
Astral Chain has some good metal songs. Final Fantasy 14's got some good
metal
metal songs.
Killing Floor. Yeah.
Killing Floor. Killing Floor.
Like Killing Floor actually has metal songs that I knew. Like when I went to that preview event, I'm like, what the? Like Living Sacrifices in this game? What? Okay.
Just an easy story. This is Greece. Just an easy story and beautiful artwork to gaze at with an important message to discover. Not to mention a beautiful soundtrack that got me misty by the time the credits rolled. As about 90% of this chat is already done, as of yesterday, I played Final Fantasy 7 Remake Demo. Today was originally the day we were all supposed to be playing the full game. But until next month, we have a small hour-long demo that was an attempt to put a Band-Aid on a broken heart. By the end, I was like Oliver Twist shouting at Square Enix, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" And back to my theme of soundtracks, it goes without saying that score is phenomenal. So much so that I booked a ticket to watch the Final Fantasy 7 Remake live orchestra in October. That's it for this month, chat. I'll be back next week with updates from my March games with the aforementioned Doom Eternal and Persona 5 Royal, yet another phenomenal soundtrack. Not to mention all the goodness with all the events and shenanigans the allies will be getting into on EZX weekend. To all those allies who are returning, I can't wait to see you all again. Love and respect, everybody. Boom. All right. Oh, you don't need your headphones? Because we're looking at drawings.
Yeah.
Yay! Hi, everybody. We're in the corner now. Jesse Abraham, this is a submission by Christy Ann Abraham. Could you read these pages, Jones? Gladly. Actually, I want Blood to play the other character. Would love to hear your take. I will be submitting new pages each month, so every showcase we can all get a little further through the story together. Feel free to share your thoughts or theories on it afterwards. Thanks. The name of the comic is The Message of Cyan. If anyone wants to read ahead, it can be found at themessageofcyan, CYAN.com. That's the limit of the 9 images. I hope you liked it so far. Can't wait till you see what's coming next. So yes, only 9 because that is the limit on sending stuff to the showcase. So I'm going to be the big scary monster guy, and you're going to be the protagonist.
Okay. Hopefully the protagonist doesn't look like a big scary monster.
Hello, hello. Welcome to my nightmarish home. Farouk grants only one wish. Money, revenge, power. What will it be?
Whoa. A wish. Nothing.
How interesting. Why? Oh, wait. You say nothings first, I guess? Yeah.
Yeah. Give it to someone who deserves it. A good guy. Not me.
Not you? It appears you have misunderstood why I chose you. Farouk will explain. Farouk does not give things to nice guys. Only the ones who meet my quota can make a wish.
Well, wait, what? Quota?
The number of souls sent to my realm in this room is proof of your contribution. Women, men, children. An entire city wiped off the planet.
In that case, I wish that I never existed so they can live.
I see. How selfless. And stupid! Trading hundreds for one soul? No, that's a bad deal.
What?
Farouk is the keeper of souls. I do not give souls back, I keep.
Fine. Take my soul. And keep it.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Pours out. Oof. Huh? You wanted to change history, and now you want Farouk to keep your soul? Wasted all for nothing. That's the wish?
Yes.
For them?
But
why? I don't know.
Because?
They don't care. No one will care. They are dead. Useless.
But why do you care?
Very good question. Idiotic.
But...
No more talk. Silence! Farouk knows!
Like a pea.
Very cool. Stay tuned! More. Justin Loomis. Hi, Jones and Bloodworth. My girlfriend is a huge Animal Crossing fan and has been doing some fan art in anticipation. Her favorite villager is Stitches, so you could say the wait has been unbearable.
Did you give me a preview of this? This sounds like I've heard that before. Was that in the Q&A or something?
I definitely no. I've not read these. Didn't read these
I'm
until
getting
last
deja
night.
vu on this line. That's weird.
Love and respect, Justin and Gina. And the animals are. Here we go.
Maybe I just like skimmed across the comments somehow. I don't know.
Maybe.
Nice.
Stitches the bear. Woo! I love this so much. Oh God, I'm so excited.
Nice.
Lucky the dog. Yeah.
Lucky.
I think of all of these, Lucky's the only one that I actually do recognize.
Oh,
Tangy
yeah.
the cat.
Yeah, I had Tangy. I think on GameCube.
Nice. And Coco the bunny.
Nice. Yeah, I remember being freaked out by Coco. I don't remember what. Maybe it was the DS game. But yeah, it was like, what?
You can be kind of freaked out by Lucky there.
That art, but I think
Right.
Lucky doesn't seem that freaky in the in-game.
Yeah, Coco got the bat there. Coco not gonna be freaky.
See, this is my guy. We're still good at 4 Let me actually play him.
No, okay. What do we do with this one? Bah. I am missing a piece of art.
Uh-oh.
Oops. I'll go back and get that one. I'm going to skip ahead to Choom Nguyen. Hi, Brandon and Blood. These are great because I get to do one of my favorite things in the showcase. Just watched the Sonic movie last weekend. This was the bad first try, as you can see from the overuse of correction fluid. And number 2 is the final one with watercolor. Still used ink to make lines, and I love just that. Just love doing that back and forth. And he's wagging his finger.
Nice.
But nice, yeah. The final's looking good. Boop, boop. Drew Nishiki. When I finished Yakuza Kiwami, almost done with Kiwami 2, so expect another Yakuza-themed drawing next month.
That looks great.
And again, it's
like, I mean, that actually makes you kind of want a cel-shaded Yakuza game, right?
Yeah, sure.
It looks so good.
Well, Yakuza's doing some weird stuff, man. So,
Yeah.
you never know. And it's gaining in popularity. And you got the work in progress here, which again, I love that so much. The work in progress is really great. Boop, boop. Number 5 is an original work, which he's calling A Butcher. Blah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the final.
Nice.
Gah. I like the earring.
There's like skull contacts in the eyes, too?
I think, yeah. I thought that was maybe just a reflection of the person, but that's...
No, they look different than a reflection.
That's creepy, man! That's good stuff, Jim. Yeah. Another, number 7, another original work with a classic trope on TV. When you're sad, you just get hungry.
Wow.
Classic trope. When you're sad, you just get hungry. I like that her jacket's crying too. I missed that little detail. It's just very sad. No! It's so good. And the work in progress on that one.
Oh, cool.
It'll be fun. Just one more time. That cracks me up. What is she eating too? I wonder. That's chicken.
It looks
That's
like
a chicken leg.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like an abnormally massive piece of bacon or something, but that's definitely chicken leg. And RE3 Remake is just a month away, so I drew Jill again. Gilligan's Island. Short history, beat it multiple times to get all epilogues and raked lots of points in Mercenaries to get infinite ammo for everything, so I'm really hyped for Remake. That is all this month. Love and respect. Tirju Angie. P.S. See you soon. Nice.
Gilligan's Island.
Esther, I will grab your thing. I don't know why. Your drawing slipped through the cracks. Sorry.
Oh.
Hello, Brandon and Blood. This month I bring you a twist on the typical and present the idea of Eldritch Crossing, an art project that sees the townsfolk hiding weird secrets or the oldest truths in wicked nighttime forums. I made these daytime versions and figured you two may like them. There's more lore info in a Twitter thread folks can find at TCatch, TECATCH. Teeketch, but just art for now. As always, thanks for fostering a great community and for all the work you do. And these are so good. The creative outpouring, thank you. That's what we should call the community showcase. Creative outpouring. They like the Cthulhu villagers. It's so good. Love this guy.
Yeah.
Love this guy. Really, really good. Some of these are based on some that are familiar, but just the scar.
Right.
Love the scar. There's so many stories behind all these guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are really, really good.
We don't have any fish villagers, so there we go.
There's a, yeah. Oh, boy.
Nice.
I'm so happy, man. I don't know. Some of these are kind of silly. Like, some of these you can see, like, a little kind of dark edge. I bumped into that guy. I wouldn't. Are there
Right.
walruses? You ever had a walrus in your town?
I feel like there may be a walrus character, but a unique character, but I don't remember for sure. Nice.
Totally normal. Nothing mouths of madness about that character at all. Really good Teeketch. And that's Tej on Patreon. And Esther sent art, and I don't know where it is. Let me go get it. Hold on. Grab the mouse. Entertain our lovely community. Talk about Animal Crossing. Or
Wendell. Yeah, Wendell the walrus.
Oh, nice. Good to have this up anyway. No. No mic's on over here. Good to know.
What will you? Yeah, I'm never good at figuring out the name for my island. So I don't know. I don't remember what my last island was.
Has it been different every time?
I'm sure it was.
Did you hear what I'm going to name Huber's Island?
No.
Because he lost the bet, so I get to name it. You lost. ULOST.
Oh right, yeah. I do remember that now.
Really, really happy about that. Boom.
It was funny. I remember there being a comment. I don't know if it was on the reactions or what. That was like saying something like, because I guess there was like a line or something in the direct that was like, this is your first time on a desert island, and somebody was like, Flubber's probably like, no, it's not, and I'm like, well, you're sort of right.
Right.
I've definitely been on small islands before that are largely uninhabited.
I'm a weirdo.
Being from Florida.
But,
You could also, probably swim back to the mainland from there if you needed to.
From Esther, hey Jones, hey Blood. It's been an eventful couple of months since my last showcase submission. I bleached my hair white, publicly changed my name, and began a new relationship. Speaking of that last one, the art I'm submitting this month was a Valentine's Day gift for my partner featuring two of our favorite Pokemon. Spencer, Spools of Thread, and I met each other through Easy A, and I'll forever be grateful to you for bringing us and all our friends together, so thanks for that. Excited to see everyone again at EasyX. Love and respect Esther Devil in chat, aka the artist formerly known as Steph CT. P.S. I cannot wait to get to play Animal Crossing with everyone in the community. I could tell right away because of those red backgrounds that just bam!
Sure, I did not even have any idea that was you. I'm sorry. I missed the memo on that change.
There it is. Here's the memo. Bam. And what a way to celebrate. So good. Love is in the air. First time Valentine's Day has been brought up.
Sure.
February was an interesting month. Let's talk about games. Like, ooh, all right. But that is just absolutely lovely. Thank you. And congrats to you. Boom, we're back. Okay. Sorry for doing that out of order. All right, photographs. Boom. Neat. Kit Snow. Hey allies, two things. First, coming out of a down and a toxic environment, I've been feeling the art itch. Here's some allies I drew from memory. Hopefully you can tell who they are. Second, as I've been feeling more comfortable in my own skin, I ventured into makeup and such. Here's some of my favorite looks. As always, love and respect. Kit L. Burnside. P.S. Jones, I recently got way into Star Wars for someone who has never seen it previously, and all I want to say is, I'm in love with Obi-Wan and the prequels. Thanks. It's good to hear someone that's in love with the prequels. Watch that Clone Wars, man. If you want more Obi-Wan, Clone Wars is just... You get just, lots of Anakin, lots of Obi-Wan, and I'm super, super stoked for that Obi-Wan series. It's a bummer that got delayed, but that's Kyle on the right? That's Kyle with the hood.
Yeah.
Little smirk.
Yeah.
And then Ian on the left there, and then like the one coming up on the left, I'm familiar with, but like the one on the right, I don't know. I feel like that really could be anybody. You know?
There's a little ZZ Top coming through there. There have been times that I've toyed with like how long could I grow a beard, but like I just never. At a certain point, I just don't care for it.
I'm just not sure. And that's Brad, right?
Yeah.
The swoop. The swoop's too good. The collar. And the makeup. Yeah.
Nice.
And I love the perspective here. Looking good, kid, but I love the boom.
Oh, cool.
Clearly a Control reference, right? With the roof there.
Probably. It's interesting because it presents an optical illusion to where you can almost see it as like inverted.
Right.
Like it just looks like a rectangle with that up being on top. Yeah. If you're looking at a corner pointing out at you rather than a corner going in.
Right. Thanks, kid. Annalise S.
Whoa.
Hail. Oh, sorry. Good day, Jones and Bloodworth. Before I get into this month's pictures, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the love on my first post. I had never really interacted with the Easy Allies community before that. It was a very warm welcome. This month I bring you Vail, Colorado, which I've been. Went with the family. We took a very cheesy photo of like all of us skiing. We're all like, yay! Like in the photo, it's really bad. Like my teeth are still like straightening out, so I have like buck teeth. Like, yay! I've been traveling here for ski season since I was a kid, and it's a beautiful little city that I think is very underappreciated. I think Vail's doing okay for itself. It's definitely in my top 5 for places a non-American should visit here in the USA. This year, I had a cold all the way through the trip, and I was too weak to ski for more than an hour or two. It's awesome that you got out, though. To keep myself busy in true tourist fashion, I ran around the town, camera around my neck, taking pictures of whatever struck my fancy. My results are these 9 pictures. I hope you have a good March. With so many big game releases, I'm both very excited and very nervous. I'll try to make something for the next showcase before Animal Crossing releases on the 20th and halts my motivation elsewhere. I feel the love for Animal Crossing is strong in the EZA community.
Yeah.
Feels good. I don't think I've been into anything that the Easy Allies community collectively has been this interested in, you know? Feels good. But yeah, love that. Curious if you took that while you were skiing or if that was just from like a lodge or something, but nice.
Oh, ice skating, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that there's still the old camera date down there.
Yeah. And I love the bulb. Just
you know what's funny? It reminds me of when I was, I don't even know how old I was. It had to have been like late middle school or early high school. But I had a camera that was like a Ninja Turtles camera that literally put like a Ninja Turtle in every photo.
It's fantastic.
There was just like this little piece of plastic that had a Ninja Turtle thing like in front of the lens. And so every picture has a Ninja Turtle in it.
That's a great thing where there's like like a sci-fi movie or something, and like some guy's like alien in the house, and like the dad like reaches for whatever camera he can find, and so he's like showing the government, and they're like, "Why is Leonardo in this? It's not important. It's important as the photo." And the context: a snowstorm from afar for the first picture. The town square of the neighboring Lion's Head village. Jolly. Sun filtering through the shades. Love that.
Oh,
this is a great sell for a hotel room. I don't know. This is really good hotel room vibes there. And I'm sure you probably spent a fair amount of time in there if you were feeling well. Fireworks at a parade honoring the 10th Mountain Division, a group of soldiers who trained for World War II in the harsh Colorado mountains. Brutal, but very cool. Cool to see fireworks in the snow there. Love that.
Oh, wow.
Love the color change.
Yeah.
Snowfall at the river. The view from the Vale Village bus stop. It's probably a very pretty looking bus stop.
Yes.
Oh, Vale. I remember Vale.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
Vale. It's
yes.
been a long. Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Icicles! Exclamation point. Those are indeed icicles. 8, sunset from the empty bus. My favorite picture of these. I also enjoy that picture.
What's funny is an empty bus like this, it just reminds me of like so many like post-apocalyptic games or whatever. Like you usually like walk through buses as part of the environment.
Right. And finally, boy.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
It's so cool. It's just looks like you're flying the mountains from the plane. Oh, from the plane. You are flying. Really cool too that you got that photo through the window.
Yeah.
I have a very poor track record of trying to make pictures look good that way. I love this. Not only, obviously, am I a fan of this because these are pictures from Disney World, but this is Super 3D Cow, who usually plays pop-in music for us, but has gone to Disney World, so we get to see Super 3D Cow hanging out with friends and having a good time at Disney World, which I very much enjoyed. There's one picture in here that just tickles me, man. It's so good. I love that we start with food.
Oh, wow.
The Crystal Palace. I don't know if I've been to the Crystal Palace. I don't even know where that is.
But it's just funny that they've got like printing on their waffle.
Yeah.
This reminds me, Sunday at church, before people come in, we have like a little coffee station outside, right? Just so you just get your morning coffee. Mm-hmm. And I wanted some coffee that morning, so I went outside to get some, and they had these little mini waffles. So they're like this big around, just a little dollop of syrup and like a blueberry and a raspberry for everyone at the coffee station.
Oh man,
those are great.
There's one picture coming up that's just, it's hard to look at, man. It's brutal. It looks, I just want to eat that photo. Yay, there's
nice.
a little proof. Hello, Brandon and Bloodworth. I've been away at Disney World all week with a group of friends I played Dungeons and Dragons with. We are on the bus back to the airport as I write this, and that's a fun bus ride when you're going back to the airport from Disney World. I thought I would upload some pictures from my trip. I was the videographer, so I don't have too many photos. I even met someone from chat who works at the Pandora shop when you get off Flight of Passage. They recognized my love and respect shirt.
Nice.
I love that so much. Curious where that picture was taken. Yeah, man, Castle Envy. That castle is so humongous. We just got a little itty bitty castle. I love the drowned Woody. I can't tell. Is he in is he in a race car? Oh no, he's on the racer. He's on. What is the name of the racer? Oh man, I can't. Wheels or something. He's going to sitting on a. What is the name? I did that racer. I don't think made it into some of the later movies. RC didn't make it into the later ones. I don't think. I just saw Toy Story 4. RC is definitely not Toy Story 4. They could have used RC a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, dude, it's so cool, and it's neat because I actually haven't seen a lot of people taking photos. I would imagine it's like the same thing, like just identical. They literally just copy pasted that land, but I don't know. It's kind of just like the colorization, I think, is a little bit interesting. I don't know if we'd have that much green. I think ours is just like mostly brown and gray, but maybe I'm just reading into that. I thought RC was at the beginning. Woody had to rescue him. Oh, he did. That's right. RC was at the beginning of Toy Story 4. I'm lying. That's right. That's right. I guess they don't take him on the trip they go on, I think. These are like the Coke bottles that you can buy in Star Wars Land in Galaxy's Edge. A little nervous about like the purse photo. Not sure why this was included. You know what I mean? Just kind of seems like they kind of look like grenades, you know? It's just like.
But that's what it's supposed to look like a thermal detonator, right?
Yeah, I guess. Just like, I don't know. Just taken from the interesting photo there from the purse there. They're up to something. Is this like the happiest?
It's the twist on like the ones that do at Christmas that are supposed to look like ornaments.
Right.
Yeah.
Blood, is this like the happiest photo? Well, one of the happiest photos you've ever seen in your entire life. Like this makes me so happy. And I love it too because there's like, if you go to Disney World and you want to try to do everything, like get ready to ride in lots of shuttles. Bring your Switch, because you're going to be playing your Switch when you take shuttles from whatever hotel you're staying at. So I just love the shuttle pick. Super happy. This is the photo that just destroys me right now. Especially since I didn't, had oatmeal for breakfast. It's fine.
My breakfast is still here. I'm going to eat it at some point.
Oh, man. I had oatmeal and airheads.
I just grabbed muffins from Starbucks, but I didn't have time to eat it.
I think I know where you got that, too.
After going to the
Depends on
voting.
what park you got that in. Well, you're probably in Disney World or in the Magic Kingdom. Ugh. It's a tasty looking photo. That is a theme park, man. That is a theme park. How cool is that? You are in the theme park. It kind of looks like, oh no, he's in like a park, but then the theme park's on the other side. And I know that view. I know what bridge you're on, man. I love that. I think that's so impressive, just style-wise. Them actually creating that. And that ride. If you ever get back, in Florida, do you go to Disney World that often? Have you been on Everest?
Everest doesn't sound familiar. Is that in the Animal Kingdom?
Rules? Yeah.
Yeah, that. The funny thing is, I have not been to the Animal Kingdom, but my mom is convinced that I have been. And I'm like, what do you... No, I have not.
Animal Kingdom's got... And I haven't done any of the Pandora stuff. Animal Kingdom's really, really cool. But Everest is an intense ride. That ride is very, very fun. And I think that's it. Thank you, Super 3D Cow. Sebastian Hall. Hi, Jones and Blood. Hope you are all well and managing. This is a massive comment, so I'm going to get through these pictures while we do it. All right. Hope you're all well, managing to keep up with all the awesome video game releases we are getting this year. Last weekend, I went away working on site for a client. I don't know if you, Jones, remember the tale of my last epic hike adventure when we ended up getting lost in the Welsh Mountains last year. Oh, yes. This time I ended up with some colleagues in Cornwall, England, and persuaded them to do a day hike with me to explore the landscape. Let's just say that we got quite the adventure. This time we used our mobile phones instead of a paper map, which worked until we realized the signal was horrible down in the valleys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, we set out in the morning with packed food and a vague idea where we wanted to go. The sun was out, the sky was blue, and there was a light breeze sweeping across the fields.
Nice.
If only we had checked the weather for the full day. Being close to the coast meant that we ended up experiencing all 4 seasons before the day would be over. We followed some mapped out walking routes and crossed some muddy fields when suddenly saw some dark clouds on the horizon coming our way. Our mood was high, and silly enough, we laughed and thought, how bad can it really be? Around 30 minutes later, the wind started to pick up, and we could feel the temperature dropping to then quickly turn into a hailstorm directly from hell. Being on open fields, we just had to curl up behind some bushes and try to stay as dry as possible. I love this so much. The clouds coming and just like, hello. But man, yeah, when you travel like that, you see some pretty stuff. Unfortunately, the wind grabbed everything that was loose, and we had packing flying in all kinds of directions. Luckily enough, the storm disappeared as quickly as it had arrived. After about 3 hours hiking, we made our way to the town of Loe, L-O-O-E. This was an absolutely beautiful town on this amazing beach where we had our lunch whilst people surfed on the waves and had fun until another storm arrived. This time, a mix of rain and snow dragged in and soaked us again. I love it.
Nice.
Here comes the other one. We decided to follow the coastline for an hour or so before everyone started to feel cold and a bit beaten up from the weather. The mood in the group started to dampen just then. It stayed high until then. And it was easy to tell that we all just wanted to come home, and things felt hard before all of a sudden one of us started to sing on 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. It didn't take us long for us all to join in, and we all laughed and bellowed along as loud as we possibly could. When we finally got home, we had some pizza, and everyone collapsed into the hot tub with aching bodies. At least you had the hot tub, man. There's a lot of things I'll do if I know hot tubs at the end of it. Despite the long hike and changing weather, you can see Loey, maybe? It was so much fun, and we are already talking about spending another weekend somewhere in England to go hiking. Also, I am sorry that the images got a bit mixed up when I uploaded them, but I hope they are enjoyable anyway. Lots of love and respect, LoTS. So
Sweet.
funny. One of my favorite, hiking memories was we... gotta be careful when that sun goes down. At one time, Amanda and I and Sophie got trapped up in the mountains when we were coming back down, and just the sun was gone. It was basically nighttime. We were like, okay, and we were going back through, and Sophie, thankfully, not only knew the way back to the car, but knew the trail. And so we were just kind of like, okay, taking it easy. And I was like, I would use the flashlight on my phone, but my phone had died. So we're like, okay, we can make it back. And like, finally made it back. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and Amanda was like, where do you want to have dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. Are there any interesting places in town? She goes, I don't know. And pulls out her phone. I'm like, honey, it's a flashlight on your phone. What are you gonna do? Yes. Let's get into it. Aloha, Brandon and Blood. This month I'll be doing something different from my normal month in review, or two. In this case, I missed February. And talk about one of my oldest hobbies, Lego. I've been building various sets from as long back as I can remember. I had a lot of space and city sets as a child. I think I might have had a couple of castle and pirates as well, in addition to a bunch of Technic. One of my creations in late elementary school was even chosen for a build prize by Lego after my parents submitted it.
Wow, cool. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, baby. And that was platform 9 3/4 before. So to see the resurgence of Lego in popular culture makes me quite happy. From the movies in recent years to the TV reality show to the news article I read that adults are finding it a good way to relax and unwind. The Toys That Made Us on Netflix has a fantastic episode about Lego. It's really, really good. But it talks about, because you think of just Lego, it's like, oh yeah, Lego. You don't really realize like when it was popular, when it wasn't, why it was popular again. First license they ever got, Star Wars. Not bad. Fairly recently. I just like Lego doing licensed stuff seems like forever, but it was like this century. Like it was not a long time ago. I also built quite a few Plamo or plastic models as well. I had an amazing DeLorean from Back to the Future 2 when I was in junior high that could convert from drive to hover mode via toggle. But I've got a bunch of Bandai models now as well, from Gundams to One Piece to Star Wars. Whoa. Some still unbuilt.
Is that you?
What did I do?
You know, there's just like a bump.
A bump?
Yeah.
I didn't bump. I'm just talking about Legos, bro.
Okay. We might have just had a minor earthquake or something. I don't know. That was strange.
Did the camera jiggle? Chat, did the camera jiggle? If the camera didn't jiggle...
It felt like somebody like kicked the couch to me, which is why I'm surprised you didn't feel it.
No. Somebody's messing with blood. Ian's been under the couch like I know quite a few allies build Gundams or similar Plamo, but it seems like the Lego bug has been a few of you too. Definitely, I love that Lego. Ben started building Star Wars Legos recently. Blood seems to have enjoyed the Forza Lego Champions DLC. Any favorite car? Any Blood?
I mean, they only have a couple of cars in the DLC. Yeah, that's the one weak point is there's not a lot of the cars.
Oh. I love them in the train car. That's great. Brad has a couple, I think. I think as well as that Brandon mentioned he wants to add some to his garage now after I showed him my Lego shelving a few months ago. Any progress? No. The garage, I don't have access to the garage. It's like a guest room, basically. But I got that BB-8 still in the packaging. I'm going to break that out. I find it a great way to relax in addition to physical therapy for my hand. I put on some music like a Final Fantasy piano collection or some game soundtracks like SSX3 or KOTOR and build away for a few hours.
Oh, wow.
Love everybody all lined up. What is the...
They look so good.
Is that the candy cart? Is that the candy cart on the train? That is, because they're just scabbers. That's so funny. This month's submission brings in two other interests that I have, the Harry Potter universe and model trains. My grandfather had a few HO scale models when I was a kid, and we loved setting them up in the kitchen whenever I came to visit during the summer. Hope you enjoy the pictures, and as always, mahalo nui loa for everything you do. Love and respect, Samo Rosman, a.k.a. Namzor. No, that's Sebastian Hall going back to... Like, wow, what a Lego set. Thank you. Finally, Tokyo Slim, who always takes us around the world, which I appreciate. Another month, another tenuous and speculative connection. Look at that floor. That's so cool.
Whoa.
Made out of wood, apparently. It looks like steel. Bloodworth is organized and reads books, so perhaps he enjoys a good library?
Sure.
Oh.
I've definitely not been in them enough, but yeah.
I bet he knows the Dewey Decimal System.
Know it? No, I don't know it.
Whenever I see the words the Dewey Decimal System, I think of UHF, the Weird Al Yankovic film, because they have a lot of fun shows that they do on the UHF. They have commercials in the movie, little parody commercials. And there's Conan the Librarian. And some guy comes up and he's like, hey, I'm trying to find this book. And the actor goes, don't you know the Dewey Decimal System? And then cuts him in half. Every time. Don't you know? The Seattle Public Library, designed by Dutch architect Rem Koolhaas, and opened in 2004. Ann Hamilton is a large-scale visual installation artist that did the wood flooring on the first level of the library. Here's another picture of that, you can see.
Okay.
Some wonderful people being exploited by Tokyo Slim. They're just trying to hang out and read books. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Part of the building overhangs the street, which is cool. Really cool pictures, man. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Just hanging out, read books, getting some work done. Yeah, this building is crazy. And you picked really good vantage points to take pictures. I bet Annalise is like, I gotta get in that building. From the 4th floor, looking down to the 2nd floor and up to the 6th floor. Crazy. The elevators and escalators are easy to find. I like the lighting, too. That guy just heading in there.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. And I love this. This is really great. Just look at this photo for a little bit.
Yes. It's
Something's
so
off.
good. It's so good.
And I love Tokyo's comment. 99% sure those cameras are there to catch someone not paying attention and walking into that wall. That's so cool. Tokyo, that's really neat. And 9, the 3rd floor is meeting rooms and everything is red. Wah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's control red.
I know,
right there,
yeah.
man.
Definitely got to shoot something there. Cheers to libraries, librarians, and public-funded community resources. Hooray! Thank you so much, Tokyo Slim. All right. The time has come to put on those headphones. Let me know if you need me to change anything. I will make an audio adjustment. All right. Kicking it off with Adam Henschel, who not only is rocking out for us, but lets us into... I enjoy spending some time in Adam's room. Let's us hang out with him. Here we go. Oh, sorry. Hey, Blood and Brandon. So I had a couple of ideas rumbling around for this month's showcase, but I eventually landed on Final Fantasy VIII's Balam Garden. This arrangement adds certain reharmonizations to various sections of the music, as well as shifting the rhythm from straight eighths to a jazz waltz of sorts, with some exceptions here and there. Thanks for listening, Anna Henschel. How do you feel about straight eighths? Are you a fan?
You're talking about musical terms? I do not know this stuff.
You know I love this, man. You know I love this.
This is too good.
Yeah, and then just out of nowhere. Oh, the clouds in the background.
That was
Garden.
fantastic. Oh my gosh.
Not a theme that you hear that often.
Sure.
Also,
I mean, it is definitely a great theme from that game.
Also, Adam, obviously somebody who loves music, clearly. Also somebody who loves pillows, man. His pillow game is not, he's not messing around. Keeping that brilliant head very cozy. We can go full screen for this one, because I just got an audio file. Hey.
Okay.
Kitsune Lane. So this submission is a piece of music I've been working on for the past couple of months on and off. A cover of the Power Rangers theme. The mix is tough because symphonic rock is really hard to make play nice in the frequencies. It's also pretty hard to arrange, but I think I made it manageable in the end. The full length of this is 5 minutes and 5 seconds, but I managed to somehow cut it down to 4.5 minutes. That's still 1.5 minutes over the time for the submission limit, but I'm going to submit it anyway because screw it! I'll let you guys decide where you want to cut it at 3 minutes, sadly. I already cut out a decent chunk from the big intro. It starts off really small, gradually gets bigger, and I cut the intro, cut into the middle of that. I plan to edit a video to this, but editing a 5-minute long tribute sequence to something as energetic as this is a daunting prospect, and I keep procrastinating. It probably doesn't help that I edited a 3-minute long music video to a thing professionally a couple months ago, and that was hard enough. Take it away.
Cut time.
So good, though. Those builds. Also, chat shook by how I eat airheads. Are you supposed to nibble on airheads, man?
I think you just like grab them and pull and
Like a
get a little bit at a time.
Like an apple
That's
zappa.
a stretch. That's part of the fun. Is to stretch it.
Part of the fun is eating it. You ball it up, throw it in. All of it. What do you do? You sample a pixie stick? Now you throw it back. You can eat airheads however you would like to. Surprised at your surprise. Kevin Gillet, you're not ready for this. You're not. I'm sorry.
Not ready.
Just letting you know. You're not prepared.
Sorry.
Hello, Bloodworth and Jones. Like I said last time, Animal Crossing is getting closer. Love that direct. And the fact that you appear to start with less than in previous entries, but end up with so much more possibilities to shape your village, I can't wait. Especially since these first months of 2020 are way emptier than originally planned in terms of releases. But that's not like I don't have dozens of games to finish anyway. Obviously, this time, I prepared some Animal Crossing themed music. What if you could ask KK to perform the Easy Allies podcast theme? Well, it would be called KK Allies, and I imagined it for you. Also, keep listening until the very end. There's one last thing, especially for Jones. Love and respect, Kevin Gillet. Take it away, dude. It's so good. It's so He goes real low and real high in this. God, KK's got range. One last thing. A much shorter theme. Yay!
But that's Chad has a very good point. That Animal Crossing stream has to start with
Oh, of course.
that.
Yeah, no, we're ripping that.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of things for, Kevin Gillet's done, like, tabletop escapades themes and stuff like that. We're necessarily, like, repurposed frame trap stuff. It wasn't necessarily repurposed into the show. We are stealing that. Yoink. I should put that in the disclaimer of when the showcase every month. It's like, if your music is too good, we will steal it. But yeah, that's like out of control. It was really great because he introed it. I was surprised he actually spoiled it in the intro because Amanda is across the room, across the living room, feeding Milo. And all I just say is like, I turn my speakers up. I'm like, you ready? She's like, what? I just hit play. And she's like feeding him and she goes, oh, yeah. What? Like just hears like what it is. And it's like, what? Just thought I was just, dropping some KK on her. All right, Mason Victoria. Hi, Brandon and Blood. Over the past few months, I've been focusing on creating and listening to video game music. It's incredible to think how far video game music has come in the industry, let alone the technology that has allowed composers to create everything from looping chip tunes, to full orchestral pieces through their laptop. I would love to know what was the first soundtrack that wowed you when you were playing a video game?
That wowed me while I was playing it.
Well, it probably was the first one, but 6. 6 was the first one
Sure.
Final Fantasy 6 was the first soundtrack I couldn't believe. I was like, I cannot believe this much is in this game. That they keep pumping out new tracks. Like, there were tunes I liked, but like, whoa.
I mean, if I have to like make a guess off the top of my head, maybe Mega Man X.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, like Zero theme coming in. Yeah. The guitar?
For Mason, it was the original Metal Gear Solid soundtrack and how real the orchestra sounded to me at the time. Today, I'm sharing a composition I wrote inspired by action games with orchestras such as Metal Gear Solid and Call of Duty. Love all that you do in Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing. Love and respect, Mason Victoria. I don't know if it's just the image, but I get the vision vibes. This is E3 2020. E3 is a special time. Well, it used to be. That's the best compliment you could ever give me, that my voice would sound good over that music. That's awesome, Mason. Thank you. Speaking of awesome, Awesome Express. Hey there, Bloodworth and Jones. We're pretty far removed from the Glenny's Cauldron jam, but I have a relic from the past that I would like to share. I worked on the soundtrack for the game Allied Adventure by Phantom. The event was quite fun and challenging, and while I was able to get most of the music done, I had a few tracks that straddled the deadline and were not included in the game played on the group stream. The piece I am sharing today is the boss battle theme. The soundtrack was composed entirely in the program Family Tracker, which creates authentic NES music that can even be exported onto an NES cartridge.
Cool.
Glenny's Cauldron was an excellent and insightful experience. It was a wholly unique avenue for creative expression, and if Kyle ever wishes to follow up with a similar event in the future, I would relish the opportunity for a second attempt at video game music composition. Love and respect, Jarrett at Jibunzo, Jibunzo. P.S. Bloodworth, any other plans on another Nebraska mini meetup? It's been a blast the past 2 years.
Yeah, I can't say for sure, but I can't say for sure when, but I mean, I will be going back to Nebraska at some point, and when I do, I will probably try to make that happen.
Sweet.
Josh there's been really great at making that happen for me, so.
Boss battles. sure. I just love the alarm vibe. Very good stuff. I'm sure that puppy just goes on forever. Wonderful work. And finally, with the last piece of music, Matt Bolenbach, who tells us just to get hyped. Love and respect.
Get hype.
Bolenbach. I think judging by comments we've already had, people are pretty hyped for this, maybe a little bit.
It's so great to see this right now. Having like just played.
I know. It goes on longer than that. I had to cut it at the 3-minute mark. But Matt, you absolutely wailed on that.
It is
That was
so
good.
fun to look at that right now.
I know!
Just after. And that was a great track.
Very good, Matt. All right. We're in the home stretch, folks.
I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right
All
back.
right, cool. Got a bunch of videos to look at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 videos. And Ben Fitter reserved a space, but never posted anything. Where are you at, Ben? Give us more Final Fantasy VII. Well, now that it's just us, chat. Now that it's just us. Let me tell you a story. I played that Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo, and I enjoyed it. And then after I was done with that, I purchased Final Fantasy VII on the Switch, downloaded it, and started playing. So I'm going to surprise Brad with that when he gets here later today. I brought my Switch, actually. I might level up a little bit later. yeah, I at least want to play Midgar, before the game comes out. I got to the Avalanche house when they're all hanging out, and Cloud's like, I'm out of here, I'm done with all of you. And Tifa's like, no, Cloud stayed. He's like, no, I'm leaving. And I was like, I'll leave too then. Okay. All right, Cloud, I'm done. This guy doesn't want to go on an adventure, then neither do I. But I was just so curious after I finished that demo. I'm like, I remember the opening, but the environment specifically, even just outside that train, going into that train station, the fact that you go into that train station now and go up that staircase and around the corner and then out that door, even just some spots. Not knowing Final Fantasy VII that well, having played the remake demo and then, playing 7, I'm just like, oh, totally. This is totally the environment that I'm running through. And I love it. Random battles. So, before Avalanche is like, come on, man. Come on, Cloud. Come on to the next room. And I'm like, nope. I'm just running back and forth in the hallway. I'm going to get up to level 8, and then I'll come in, okay? Okay, good. I love how Cloud starts at level 6 and gets level 7 after that first fight. I think that's such a cool touch. I can't remember if any other Final Fantasy games or RPGs have done that, where they're like, he's not level 1, that wouldn't make sense. I love that, I love that he starts a little bit high level. Yeah, I mean, they kept that in the remake. And I noticed, Bolenbach, you're killing me, man, because I missed both of those potions. When I was watching this video, I was like, oh, yeah, I just played this. And then, right outside the train, he's like, potion? I'm like, I missed those. I haven't blown up the reactor yet, though, so I wonder if I can go back and just run out to the train. Can I climb out? I wonder. When Jesse goes down that ladder, I wonder if I can go back up that ladder. Huh. But so good on the Switch. So much fun. It'd be such a great game. Again, I'm not going to stream it because it's going to take me forever to get through that. It'll take me forever to get through Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, I had a guide for Final Fantasy VII. I found everything, said Bearded Scotsman 86. I didn't know. There would be potions right out of the gate that I would miss. But it's so good, and I think the main thing that turned me off is I was just, at that age, I was just really into high fantasy. I liked Final Fantasy VI because it had these big grand opera halls and, castles and these very quaint, French or British-looking towns. And then this was just super cyberpunk, super techno, and I'm like, this is really my vibe. So that's why I didn't really get into it. But the music, I think, is the biggest thing. I remember like cutting that retrospective episode and being like, oh man.
Of what?
Of Final Fantasy, but getting to the Final Fantasy VII episode and being like, I can only play like 8 or 9 tracks when I talk about it. And it's just like, I don't know what to pick, so. Yay. All right. Let's get into videos.
You need to tell me something? What do I need to know?
I bought Final Fantasy VII on Switch, started playing. Right after I played Remake. I'm like, well, now I gotta know what the remake is. I gotta know what the game was like. And it's good. But I was saying Matt Bolenbach grabs like the potions right by the train, and I'm like, I didn't know those potions were there. I don't know if 2 potions will be a deal breaker, but get hyped, everybody. It is not only time for another Michelle Jackson update. Battle test and voiceover. The battle is really fun to watch, Michelle, but the voiceover is so good. Yeah, take it away. Game dev update, battle test for Bitna. All art assets and audio are used or still works in progress.
Champion figure skater, what a detail.
Yeah.
Ooh, so many little ants for me to crush.
The giggles. Her scream is so good.
Well, Michelle, the Earthbound influence is definitely coming through.
Yeah.
This music.
Better watch out.
The drain. The cackle. After the drain.
Keeps going.
Better watch out.
Good work in the battle too. I mean,
Nice.
nice. Good work, Jess.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
Good stuff. I love the idle animation too. I love her heel. Her heel bounces up and down. Alexander Zirianov. Hello, Brandon and Blood. I like Battle Royale games, but I've also quickly get bored because gathering loot and chasing the circle isn't eventful. But a few months back, I've tried a new entry to this genre, and since traversing the environment in this game is extremely fun, I'm still spending evenings playing it. Do you have a guess?
Is it
At
Eliminator?
what unique? Oh yeah. So today I want to highlight this almost hidden gem by showing you a recording of my typical match. Of course, I had to increase speed to fit the entire match into 3 minutes, but I think that for this particular game, increasing speed is just what the doctor ordered. And it's really great. The way it comes together is.
This is the Eliminator! Hasta la vista, baby! Go!
I heard that intro.
It goes!
Oh yeah.
It's so scary. It's like Endor. Ah!
Yeah. It gets so hard when you go through long stretches like this and you're like, where are cars? Need a car now.
Get him.
There it
That's
goes.
nice.
Good job.
Oh yeah.
Speed up work really well.
Well, he was sure going in the right direction, wasn't he? Oh, I got caught up. Whoa! Oh. Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, is it 10 level R? Yeah, like these are the guys who really.
I think because that guy he jumped over him when they started the race.
Yeah.
So he just was not.
Yeah, he's getting methodical now.
Oh, totally facing the right way too. Nice. Man, look out.
Ooh, yeah.
That's the worst.
congratulations! You are the Eliminator!
This is Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah.
Just a new mode they added December, I think.
Well done, Alexander. David Clellan, hi Brandon and Blood. Been working away on my Mega Man project this month. Oh yeah, I can just pop this baby right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Have planned out a 30-second action sequence, which I've started animating. The video I've submitted shows shot 1 as a layout pass, and the first animation pass, and a comparison of the two. I'd say the animation is about 95% final. There are a couple tweaks I want to make, and it may change to hook up better when I animate shot 2. Also, at the end are some different styles I've been playing around with for the final look. Sorry, no Jones VO this time. Not sure what I liked best last month, how much you seem to appreciate it, or how much it confused Ben and some of chat. As always, love and respect, Dave Clellan. When I was talking about koalas, we played real animal or Pokemon, and I said koalas sometimes get mistaken for human fingerprints.
Right.
And so he took that VO and added it to Mega Man.
Oh.
To my delight. What do you mean they let him out? Turned out to be a koala. I don't know which one I love. I think number 3 is really soft and lovely.
Yeah, I mean, is this just a shader that he's
Yeah.
playing with? Yeah.
I would say 3 or 2 is just like glossy, fantastic. But I don't know. I like 3.
Yeah, the first one you lose some details.
But I love the differences. You know, he's just like kind of flying away. But I love like just has so much more weight in the run. Really cool.
Cool.
A cartoony finish on the right. Thanks, David. Yeah. Good stuff. Eric Jackson, to answer a query you had from my last video about practicing a trick over and over, the best analogy for most juggling is basketball. I practice for hours and hours such that every throw shot I make when I'm performing for an audience is the result of hard-won practice. The goal isn't necessarily to run a juggling pattern for ages and ages, just that it's so solid that I could if I wanted to. Happy March, love and respect, Eric. And my favorite thing about this video, the tricks that he's doing are really great. I paid close attention to the venues. I love the places where he's at when he's doing all of these juggling tricks.
Hello again, Brandon and Bloodworth. Unfortunately, I was unable to meet the deadline last month, as I just started a new job and shit has been cray. For this month, I've chosen to backdrop my VO with a series of clips from a challenge put forth by some friends of mine in the juggling community. 100 brand new tricks across 2020. Let's see if I can do it. Unfortunately, the internet is out at my house, so I'm relying entirely on the audio capture and video editing on my phone to get this video in under the deadline, so I apologize for how poor the capture is. As a lifelong fan of Disney movies and musical adaptations, I wanted to share my favorite story of a wrong made right. In 1991, Howard Ashman, the creative genius behind the Disney Renaissance, unfortunately passed away. Although Beauty and the Beast had yet to be released in theaters, Ashman was deep into production on Disney's Aladdin, and one of the songs he had written, a solo number for Aladdin called Proud of Your Boy, which he had written in honor of his relationship with his estranged mother, had unfortunately been cut from the final film, in spite of collaborator Alan Menken fighting to keep it in. This would weigh heavy on Menken and other friends of Ashman for almost 20 years, when, in 2011, Aladdin the Broadway musical would come alive for a new generation of Disney fans and Broadway goers alike, not only revitalizing the incredible soundtrack showcased in the final version of the film, but now including the originally cut song Ashman had written all those years ago. Thanks so much for your time, your energy, and your boundless enthusiasm. Hopefully next year I'll be able to attend the EZA anniversary. But until then, keep spreading the love.
It's like, where is this?
Yeah,
Just-
it looks like an office or
I
something,
know.
or like a coffee shop that hasn't opened yet. Maybe an art gallery.
But I love like the juggling hangout, you know, like ah yes, fellow jugglers. Let us commence. Yeah. Let's get out the was at the gym. Nice. I love this. This is the first thing I saw. She just walks in. She's just like, yeah, juggling, no big deal.
Watch box B.
Yep. Getting the word out there. Thank you, Eric. Jack Price. Hey, Brandon and Bloodworth. I return to you once again with another entry in my Doom retrospective. My original plan was to cover Doom 64, but as we are in the month of Eternal, I needed to make the hard cut. So here's Doom 3 instead. Now the plan is to get Doom 2016 done before March 20th, all ready for April showcase, then finally cap off the retro series with a Doom Eternal review in May showcase after I have had time to collect my thoughts on the game, rather than rush out some spicy hot takes. For a summary on Doom 64, though, pretty great to be honest. Some of the best atmosphere of any Doom game. A little slower and heavier feeling, bit forgettable in places. Just below Doom 2 on my rankings, but not by much. Also, apologies for the video being over 3 minutes, slightly, but I had lots of thoughts on Doom 3 and I wanted to express, and it was hard to make cuts anywhere. If you need to cut anywhere, then it's probably best to do the intro and just start at 30 seconds. Love, respect, Jack Price. That's exactly what I did. If you want to see the full thing, a funny little intro, then you can go check that out. But let's do it. Doom 3, which I love.
Yeah, Doom 3 I have not actually played. So that's,
I like Doom 3. Jack didn't like it as much as I do, but I dig it.
So here's the thing, there's a lot to love about Doom 3. For one, the environmental design is gorgeous. In a disgusting, dilapidated way. Each area truly sells the feeling of a tech base under siege from a demonic invasion, with some fantastic lighting and texture work to make everything feel oppressive and isolated. Also, it's important to note that Doom 3 is different in that rather than handing you a power fantasy right from the get-go, it makes you earn it over the course of the game. So when everything finally comes together in the final third of the game, there's a feeling of culmination that is unique from any other game in the series, making you feel like you've gone on this full journey from lone space marine to the Doom guy we all know and love. But alright, let's get the obvious critique out of the way now.
Doom 3? More like Doom Can't See.
Yes, Doom 3 is a very dark game, and yes, the idea of a far future space marine having to carry a torch separately is kinda dumb, sure, but here's the thing. I actually kinda like it. Whilst it might not make logistical sense, it does add to the horror atmosphere and is a key component in making combat encounters intense and dynamic. Choosing between visibility versus safety is a core part of the Doom 3 experience, so flashlight, you're good in my books, pal. See, the actual problem in Doom 3 is, ironically enough, being a Doom game. A thing I haven't touched on much is the actual core gameplay, and that's because, to be honest, whilst not bad by any means, it's definitely lacking in key areas. The weapons are all over the place, some provide hefty impact, while others are just wimpy and inconsistent, like what they did to the shotgun. Travesty. Also, whilst the environmental design is top-notch from an artistic perspective, the level variety leaves a lot to be desired. Aside from some brief stints in hell, which are fucking sick and some of the best parts of the game, by the way, you're pretty much always stuck navigating through the UAC tech labs, and let me tell ya, that shit gets pretty samey pretty quick. Also, some of the enemy balancing is just pretty damn wonky. Well, that was something, I guess. In the end, it's clear that Doom 3 was trying to be something different and take the series in a new direction, focusing more on the horror undertones of Doom and on delivering a game that wants you to take a more measured pace. Take it slow, soak it in, and build up the power fantasy rather than hand it to you immediately. In that respect, it's pretty great to be honest. The problem though is in the name, Doom. A name that carries a lot of expectations and sets a precedent on the tone and feel of its games. There have certainly been reinventions of franchises that have been successful in the past, ones that can stray from their original source material to create something fresh and unique. However, there is a fine line where that mark can be missed, and Doom 3 just misses that mark ever so slightly. Do I think Doom 3 is a good game? Absolutely. Do I think Doom 3 is a good Doom game? It's different, and I respect what they were going for, but I'd say it's more of an okay Doom game than a good one.
Fair.
Nice.
And very well stated, sir, in a very short amount of time.
Then we got like 3 levels left on 2016 before I finish it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I am
Getting close.
I have no idea how much more I have left of that game, but yeah, I'm running out of time. I gotta hustle. Joseph Caruso, hey Blood, last year I briefly described MagFest. This is the clip for you. The video game convention with a major focus on live musical performances. All I had to show you before was a clip of my brother cosplaying as Voldo from Soul Calibur. This time, I have a montage of all kinds of music from the most recent event in January. Here's everything from bluegrass to a cappella to a rap about people at cons who don't practice good hygiene. And you may spot a certain video game composer icon, but they'll be featured in an upcoming video. Hope you enjoyed it and can make it to Maryland one year. It is a must experience if you love video game music. Real quick story. This year, there was a cosplay dance contest. One of the judges of the contest was Ellen McLean, the voice of GLaDOS from Portal. My brother got second place as Voldo, and afterwards Ellen took him aside and said he was the best and should have won. It must have felt strange to get unironic praise from GLaDOS herself. These are really fun. And I appreciate Joseph added a couple minutes at the end of the video, which I cut out for time, but just for me to enjoy some other fun highlights that he took from the concert as well. So, good stuff.
Me and Carlos call it. This is Heart of Ice Grave from Monster World 4 for Sega Genesis, only released in Japan. Thank you.
But don't got the hygiene, then we gonna have to say no thanks. No thanks. While you coming to the con with no deodorant on, yo, you better be gone, cause you stank. You stank. Homie, you stank. Homie, you stank. Homie, you stank, bro. Homie, you stank.
Oh, wow, yeah. Like, keeping one of those in good condition is so hard.
Really good.
Wow.
The Katamari at the end there, I kind of want that whole thing. Go back and listen to this. Let me know if you have like full versions of those posted somewhere. I definitely will listen to that stuff. All right, might get a little weird. I'm into this, but you might not be into this.
Might get weird.
Happy gaming, hello Blood and Jones. I'm back again with the Let's Meditate video. For those of you who missed last month, I've been wanting to share the positive aspects of meditation with more people after it's helped me. To accomplish this, I've recorded a variation on a song from a game that I enjoy. I enjoyed it as well. I think you enjoy it. So we can all sit back for 3 minutes, breathe, and meditate together. A lot of people new to meditation have difficulties with their first few times, mainly because of the length of the sessions, and because trying to relax in this way can sometimes remind you of how tense or stressed you really are before eventually letting that tension go. Please do what makes you comfortable, so if you don't want to try or meditation is just not for you, I hope you'll be able to relax for 3 minutes with us while we enjoy some calm music and decompress just a little bit. For those of you who want to try, just do your best. Love, respect, Brian from Happy Gaming. Feel free to kick back and eat some of your head's blood. I'm definitely doing this with Happy Gaming here.
Just ruin everybody's experience with crinkle wrappers.
We have an 8-month-old. Meditation is nice. Good stuff. Love the rain sound effects. And as I mentioned before in the showcase, that Final Fantasy VI. Damn, that's a good game. Holy hi, Alice. This one I can play while I'm talking. Blam.
Lamb.
Third time's the charm, they say, and here I am trying again to show off my friend Steve's drawing work. Still loving what you guys are doing. The Magic the Gathering tournament was especially excellent. I hope to see more stuff like that from you guys in the future. I stream a load of retro games myself, and the time-lapse you are hopefully seeing as you hear this is one of the drawings done live alongside our playing of horror games every Thursday at 7 p.m. GMT. I thought I would show off my amazing artists' friends' work here and invite everyone to come see the live drawing sessions at channel twitch.tv/Olicon, L-O-I-C-O-N. We've gone through a lot of the classics like Turok, Soul Reaver, and of course, Blue Stinger. The one in the video you're watching here is Silent Hill 4. Keep putting good vibes and positivity into the world, and love and respect to all. Yeah, Silent Hill 4, The Room. I'm curious how... Definitely want to know how long this took. And I think because this was probably just a corner of the stream.
Sure.
It's a little...
Oh, that's why it's a little...
It's a wee bit pixelated because I think we're zoomed in, but... yeah, the broken shovel right at the end. Like, what? Never finished Silent Hill 4. Nice. Fine. Love a time lapse. Oh, I didn't notice he kind of scaled out the dimensions of the room before he did that.
Oh, yeah.
But very cool. Dan Allen, hello, Bloodbrand. This is part 7 of the Shenmue EZA Dubba starring Michael Huber, Ben Moore, Daniel Bloodworth, Brandon Jones, Ian Hank, Kyle Bossman, and Dice number 3. All the love, all the respect. Dan Allen, Detroit, Michigan. P.S. Katamari Damacy for Hall of Grades. There was one character in this when I was listening to this earlier, and I'm like, who is that? It was me. Who did that voice? Oh, it me. Hmm. That's Ben, the cat from last. You couldn't help it. You couldn't help but put the cat in.
Oh, hello, yo.
Son, the day of the incident, did you see some men in black suits?
The day of the incident? You mean the day it thundered, right? I didn't see them.
I see. Anything else unusual about that day?
Not that I'm aware of. But you know, Sumiya-san knows about everything that goes on around here. It'd be good if you try asking Sumiya-san.
I see. Mishima-san,
Oh, hello, Rio.
the day of the incident, did you see some men in black suits?
Black suits? No, I didn't see them.
Was there anything else unusual about that day?
Oh, nothing worth mentioning.
I'm looking for anything at all. Is there anything you remember?
I'm sorry, Rio. The weather was awful, so I stayed inside all day. Did you ask Sumiya-san? She knows about everything that occurs in this neighborhood.
Right next to each other.
Is that so? Excuse me.
Oh, no. I just can't now. If you want to talk, ask someone else.
Really good job, Ian.
Sumiya-san,
Hi, Rio.
on the day of the incident, did you see some men in black suits?
In
okay,
black
that's-
suits? No, I didn't. But I did see a cat, though.
You mean a black cat?
Yes. It was run over by a car. A kitten was crying nearby. I also saw a little Megumi crying with it.
I see. Was there anything else unusual about that day?
Now that you mention it, Yamagishi-san took a terrible spill at the corner by the park. He was trying to dodge a speeding car. Looked as if he hurt his back. I think it was the same car that hit the cat. It must have been going really fast.
So that's what
Kyle's
happened.
going so slow, he's got to cover it with something.
Got a minute?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with this area around here.
I see. I love these. 100 yen each. Maybe just one.
Very important addition.
This is cool! I should try again.
There's I kind of wanted that to go on for like a really
Yeah.
long time, just him. Oh, very, very good. Thank you so much, Dan. Tyler Lingbeek, hey allies, here I am once again with another one of my Smash matches. For this one, my buddy and I were playing doubles online. He was the Roy and I was playing Captain Falcon, a character I rarely play as and I'm not as good with. But I enjoy landing his hype moves like the Falcon Punch, and that becomes very apparent in the first part of the match. So that's all I'll say about this match except for a couple of notes. When playing online, you can lose 2 stocks if you kill yourself without the opposing team hitting you. And yes, I feel bad for how I stole my friend's last stock right before he died. I was just focused on getting back in there, but to be fair, I think I made up for it. Its Animal Crossing hype is in full effect, and since you are both Animal Crossing experts, I set this match to the newest Animal Crossing remix in Smash, the Happy Home Designer theme. I love this upbeat, more intense version of Animal Crossing music in Smash, and I thought I've never played an Animal Crossing game yet. The music in that last direct alone has me hyped for this game. So I hope you all enjoy. Thanks for all you guys do. Love and respect, Beaks. As someone who is not good and does not play a lot of Smash, this is an incredibly impressive victory. Your eyes on blue team. Steals the stock. His friend is out. 2v1.
Oh God.
3 stocks each. Here we go. Boom. Crabs.
Wow. Yeah, people play that air game, but it's risky.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified. I cannot do it. I love the pink outfit too. Bowser slam.
Oh.
Almost out.
Wow.
Yeah, and our switch art points. It looks like Bowser like tilted his fire up. Like saw him up in the upper platform. I don't know if this moved there. I love the heaving. Yeah. Yeah. Falcon really feeling that win. YouTube, hey Bloodworth and Jones, February has gone by and I've officially completed the first month of daily Animal Crossing drawings to count down to the game's release. You thought we were done with Animal Crossing art. This is the first time I've ever made it through a whole month drawing something every day for a challenge, and there's still 20 days of March to go. The first 2 drawings were already shown last Community Showcase, but I kept them in this one, even after the drastic style change, just to keep the entire month of drawings together. Also, thanks to everyone who helped suggest villagers. Love and respect, YouTube. Which Animal Crossing character did we show in the thumbnail? It's got to be an Animal Crossing character. Which one? finally, a short one, but a good one from Sam Sorensen. I made a thing. I've been playing the Yakuza series, starting with 0. I'm now on 4. Playing Kiwami 2. I had an idea. I thought it was pretty funny, so here it is. I submitted it for Huber's community queue, but I don't know that it fits there, so here it is. Enjoy. Definitely here for the, that Huber's been stealing our stuff. I'm
doubling him down,
definitely down to steal from Huber and display stuff here. So it's quick.
The song.
Yay! One more time. All right,
Wow.
That's Easy Allies Community Showcase. Thank you so much to our absolutely wonderful community that produced all of the incredible stuff, including lots of great poems and stories, and lots of people sharing personal stuff about themselves and letting us know updates on their life, images from their corner of the world, whether they are in Europe or just Colorado. But again, if you want to be involved in this, that is our $10 tier, patreon.com/easyallies. I put up a post the last week of the month called Community Showcase. So the last post was called Community Showcase March 2020. And then we do the stream the first week of every month. I have an ally sitting next to me. Next month, Kyle Bossman will be sitting on the couch.
Nice.
And will be joining me if you want to. At least one person said they got something prepped for Bossman. Kyle will be joining me, so if you want to send him some stuff, you can include that there. Or if you just want to tune in, you can watch, again, the first week of every month. We will do this stream, usually on Tuesdays, but our schedule can be a little topsy-turvy sometimes. But of course, big thanks to people. Tokyo Slim was the second to last one. Italian Stallion 2729, thank you for the resub. And thank you everybody for supporting us here on Twitch and on Patreon as well, but for especially being a part of the showcase and producing such amazing stuff. And of course, a huge thank you to Daniel Bloodworth for putting up with all this stuff. What do we do? Were we 3 hours?
Yeah, we're good.
I know, I'm just curious. It seemed like a quick one. Yeah, it was only 3 hours and 20 minutes. Sometimes we go 4. It can be a long stream, but there's a lot of stuff to go through. And like I said, if you want to see any of this stuff again, if you want to hear any of this music, if you want to see any of this art on a much bigger scale, if you want to read the rest of that webcomic that we checked out, The Message of Cyan, if you want to explore any of the other creators, find their YouTube channels, find their SoundCloud accounts, and check out the stuff that they produce. Thank you, Chimnuan, for the resub. Then you go to patreon.com/easyallies, click on Community Showcase, the tab up the top there, or you can click on Posts. And very recently we made the post called Community Showcase March 2020. That was restricted behind that $10 tier. Immediately after the stream ends, I'm going to make it public so you can go check this stuff out. Leave your own comments, connect with all of these fantastic people in our community via Patreon. Or just hang out, and then at 6 p.m. we're going to play not just one hero, but potentially something else. No, not one hero. No, One Punch Man.
Yes. So One Punch Man is on the schedule.
Might not last 2 hours.
Kyle says it might not be a very good game.
Right. You said there's not
so
many
we got
fighters.
some backups. We got some
the
backups.
cast isn't that big, so we got some backups. We'll be playing that among other things. We'll be back in 2.5 hours. You can catch us back on these couches playing stuff again, and you can catch the other Community Showcase with Cal Bossman in the beginning of April 2020. And see all of you then. Thanks for watching, everybody.